It's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
Hey y'all, welcome. Happy Friday. It's your boy Chris Avalon. Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. A show we basically talk about all the things going on in celebrity news, pop culture, hot topics, anything that's trending in these good old internet streets. We break it down on this good old show. So before we get started, can you do me a solid if you have not already? I know it's early, it's literally 45 seconds into the show. But if you can, excuse me, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And we got some tea to spill, probably like 11 topics. I have some Star Wars news that I want to talk about. We're going to talk about Madonna basically eating an anti-Trump cake. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, child, I think Nicole Scherzinger done destroyed her career as it was about to be revived. Because apparently she went and liked the post under what was it, Russell Brand's thing, and people calling her a Trump supporter and all of this stuff. We'll break all that down. So they trying to say, child, her career is done after she's getting all that accolades and stuff for her performance in Sunset Boulevard. So there's that. Plus, we're gonna go out and talk about Elon Musk is throwing shade at Jennifer Lopez and saying that now how you out here warning people about Donald Trump, but you ain't warning nobody about Diddy. I said, ooh, those some fighting words. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, we got to talk about Halle Bailey, who's getting into it because her and DDG went and brought their baby, on Constant's podcast. And people was dragging her because she went on social media and said a bunch of stuff. Was like, I don't know why you bringing my kid on this show without my permission. People starting to drag her. She deactivated her situation. Then she came back on and said she overreacted. We'll break it all down. Plus, speaking of Halle's, we're gonna go from Halle Bailey to Halle Berry. And she basically fighting the judge over a tentative decision to sanction her and award at her ex Olivier Martinez $217,000. So yeah, she going through it with him. Plus, we got to break down this Liam Payne stuff. So the toxicology report came back, and all the stuff that see this is why y'all can't believe everything that comes from Harvey and them over at TMZ, because they was trying to act like they had all the receipts and things. But the toxicology report came back, and it said that when Liam Payne, when it came down to what drugs was in his system, a lot of the drugs that they were saying was in his system was not in his system. So we're gonna break that down. Plus, a friend of his who had to release a statement because they were saying that he pretty much enabled the whole situation. We'll break all that down. Plus, we're going to talk about Caitlyn Jenner picked me behind. Somebody, she's not a trans advocate. Really? Who didn't see that? I mean, who didn't know that? So then we're going to go from one trans piece of trash to some trans treasure. And we're going to talk about Laverne Cox, who went and spoke to Variety about the possibility. She's looking at the options of leaving the U.S. after Trump's win, and talking about hoarding estrogen and being so scared for the trans youth, especially with all the laws that's being put in place to deny gender affirming care to trans people as well as trans children. And then we're going to talk about this. This is the big one that I'm really excited to talk about. So apparently, you have some people out here who are Trump supporters, right? But they also on the low be having relations of the sexual kind with someone of the same gender. So there's this ongoing thing that a lot of the gays are getting on social media and are outing a lot of their DL situations. And basically, we're going to talk about whether we think it's a good thing or not a good thing. All that stuff. I already got my thoughts. I got a lot of clips and all that other stuff. So we're going to break that down because I was like, ooh, that's going to be a juicy one for the show. So yeah, so there's that. And there's not really a lot going on. So except I just read that Macaulay Culkin is joining season 2 of Fallout, which I'm actually interested in seeing. What's that all about? So there was some TV news, movie news. I was like, okay, I don't really want to get into too much of that today. So I see we have a comment. Oh, Miss Terrell D's in the building. Ew. But yeah, but before I do want to preface by saying, while we do have a couple of things that has to do with Trump and celebrity reactions and all that other stuff, I've come to the decision, and I always hate like if I gotta speak prematurely about stuff and then I'll actually end up going back on it. I don't want to make this show something that's too heavy on, negativity when it comes to things that's happening with, Trump supporters and what Trump done said today that pissed everybody off, we could save that for them over there on them other shows, like The View or whatever the case is. Y'all want to sit and talk about you know who all day damn day long? Go ahead, because that's definitely gonna keep y'all ratings up. But for the most part, I don't want to make that show about that. I do want to try to take people's mind off things because I know right now a lot of people are stressed out, a lot of people are scared, a lot of people don't know what's going to happen because while they set up in there, and I knew this from the damn beginning, y'all set up in here and said, "Oh no, we Project 2025, that's not a thing. That's a lie." Blah, 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 blah. Now that he's in office, now all of them coming out and saying, "Yeah, Project 2025 is coming." And like I said on Don Lemon's show, which is currently airing right now on YouTube, and shout out to them for pulling my actual, comment up. So when you watch today's show, when you get around it, it does show. So, I was like, if these people that voted for him think that Project 2025 is not going to affect them, y'all in for a rude awakening. So there's that. Okay, so as I said before, if you have not already, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Please and thank you. I hit my banner. Let's get into the first topic, and let's talk about some Star Wars. So, Star Wars, I am a fan of Star Wars. I've always liked the first three, as in, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, wait, what was 5, 6, 7? Right? No, 4, 5, 6. I'm bugging because it was A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. It was always weird to me how they always told the first three films out of sync. Back in the day when I was a little kid, it was like I loved that whole world, long ago in a galaxy far, far away and all that stuff. And then over the years, we ended up getting 1, 2, and 3, which was like the origin of Anakin Skywalker. No shade, I didn't particularly care for those, especially the first one with Jake Lloyd. His acting was atrocious in that damn movie. But the one thing I did like, and Jar Jar Binks, don't even let's try to forget about him because that creature was annoying and a nuisance and a mess. But I did like Darth Maul. He was the best thing out of that movie for me. And I also like Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, a younger version of him. So I like that thing. And then, Queen Amidala, seeing the gay side, when you had Natalie Portman crying in those fierce costumes, I was living for that. So then it was just like, and then we went up getting these new ones with Ray and all these other people, and a lot of people were divisive about it. I did like A Force Awakens. I will say that. I did like that one. After that, it just felt like y'all wasn't following your own stuff. That like if you're gonna put stuff in a world and you're gonna build on that, follow through. They didn't follow through with a lot of that. And I felt like even that last one, what was it called? The Last Jedi or something or another, that movie was so terrible. And I haven't went to the movies to see that. So a lot of us haven't recovered. But then, over the years, I think it's been like 6 years since we've gotten a new Star Wars movie. So we've had been going a lot of back and forth. A lot of people have been talking about doing a Star Wars movie, but then they never followed through. Taika Waititi was supposed to do one, never. After a while, it didn't come to life. Then I believe Patty Jenkins was supposed to do one, didn't happen. There's been so many people that's been coming in and out of making these Star Wars films, but they never, materialize. So now comes word that Simon Kinberg, who is a part of the X-Men franchise, and he's produced and had some input in a lot of films over the years, like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, things of that nature, which I actually like the movie. The CB series, not so much. I ain't like that first season, but I did hear they bringing in new actors for season 2. So I think they're gonna do a new couple every season, which I'm like, oh, that actually sounds like a pretty cool idea. If they could do, sort of an anthology season of that series, like every season you get a new John and Jane. But anyway, and also what I was a little hesitant because Simon Kinberg directed the last X-Men movie, the Dark Phoenix one, which was atrocious. But the good thing is, look, he's not directing this one. But so when I heard that he was behind it, and I didn't really know much about like Simon Kinberg, I was like, okay, so even though I'm aware of him, I wasn't really familiar with like if he's a huge Star Wars fan until I found out and did some research that he actually is. So he's a big nerd in regards to like the whole Star Wars world. So he pretty much knows what he's doing, and it's gonna allegedly, according to the reports, and that would be Deadline, that he's going to comprise episodes 10 through 12 in the child. They said, nah, I really, okay. So now if you're going to do episodes 10 through 12, what I'm really hoping is Can it please not be about Darth Vader? Can it please not be about the Skywalkers? Can it please not be about all these other people? Can we just create a whole new trilogy with new characters, new adventures? I mean, it's in the galaxy. You want to go out and explore the world and then do that. Look, the way this country is about to go into this whole, like, it feels like the empire and the emperor is about to run it. So y'all can still play it into that, but just give, just give us a whole new story, because I feel like y'all have worked the Skywalker story to death. I know they're supposed to do a Rey solo film. I don't know what's going on with that. I think they did mention that they've put it on hold or something or another, that somebody dropped out. I can't keep track, because Kathleen Kennedy, while I do think she's an amazing producer, I do not think that she knows what the hell she's doing as far as like running a Lucasfilm. And just because you're a great producer does not mean that you have the cognitive dissonance to run a studio. And if you don't know what you're doing as a studio head, then you need to step down. And I don't understand why those people over at Disney will not tell her to sashay away and bring somebody up in there that knows what the hell they're doing. So that's kind of what's got me a little worried in regards to this. So while Simon Kinberg does sound like a great idea to be a part of this situation, I'm a little worried that he may not stay on for long, because if you have Kathleen Kennedy up in there making these decisions, and then people want to come and we want to get this, we want a proper Star Wars movie. Can we? Well, first of all, before I even get to that, it's like, can we just get a movie? And y'all be so quick to just, oh yeah, let's put 3-4 movies on the docket. Can you write the one first, and then let's see if the movie is good. And then if it's good, at least you have your scripts already written on standby. You could leave it on a cliffhanger. And then it's like, okay, the movie did well. Now I'm going to give y'all the backing to go make the other stuff. There's no guarantee that people are going to go run and see a Star Wars film, especially because the Star Wars fans have been burned so many damn times. They side-eyeing anything y'all put out here right now. And don't get me wrong, I loved Andor. Andor was a good show. All them other ones wasn't that great. I thought Ahsoka was okay. I wanted a lot more from the show, but I thought it was okay. I did like Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, but as far as like the show goes, I felt like y'all could have brought it a little harder with that. The Obi-Wan series, I bailed after like the first 2 episodes. I was just like, okay, this is stupid. So I couldn't really invest into it. And then, I did like Rogue One, which basically is why I liked Andor, because it was like, it kind of gave me that same vibe. But there was just because, Rogue One was good doesn't necessarily mean that Andor was going to be as good as well. But Andor basically stepped their pussy up, and it was good. So basically, according to Deadline, they said, I heard this will comprise of episodes 10 to 12 of the Skywalker saga that began with George Lucas's 1977 first film, which along with Steven Spielberg's Jaws reshaped the global blockbuster game. Insiders disputed that, regarding the intel that Kinberg will produce that storyline, saying this instead will be a new saga. That's great. And sit alongside percolating Star Wars projects with James Mangold, Charmin Obaid Chinoy, Taika Waititi, and Donald Glover. And I think those were all the people that had ideas of wanting to do Star Wars, and they were kind of just like put on the wayside. Because I forgot that Donald Glover at one point, I believe, was supposed to do a Lando type of series, whatever. I don't know what happened with that. And the funny thing, speaking of Lando, I actually didn't mind the Han Solo series. I mean, the Solo movie. It didn't do well at the box office, but I was like, it was cute or whatever. And I liked the actor. What's his name? Alden Ehrenreich. I liked him as Han Solo. He had the isms, but it wasn't a great movie, but it was enjoyable. So it says Kinberg previously worked with Lucasfilm and co-creating with Dave Filoni and Carrie Beck, the Emmy-nominated animated series. And this is also why I'm like, I'm here for Simon Kinberg, because he co-created Star Wars Rebels. And Star Wars Rebels, I remember when, back in the day, what was it, 2014 and 2018? Yeah, back when I had DVR, I actually used to record the episodes and I would watch them. So, love Star Wars Rebels. And that's where, of course, they spun Ahsoka from, although Ahsoka could have been like I said, could have been way better. But I enjoyed Star Wars Rebels. So if they kind of go into that point, in that field of like Star Wars Rebels and a rebellion, that sort of thing, with just new characters, because I do feel like at this point they need to introduce a new team of people for us to invest in. I'm actually looking forward to that new show. I can't remember the name of it. That's a Star Wars S type show, but it's like Star Wars meets the Goonies. It's gonna be on Disney Plus, I believe. I definitely want to see that show. I can't remember the name of the show off the top of my head, but I did see the trailer. I was like, okay, that looks pretty good. They said he's also been heavily involved in other franchises as writer and or producer. That includes a decade spent on the X-Men films and the Logan spin-off film that starred Hugh Jackman and was directed by Mangold. He was also producer of the first two Deadpool films and EP'd the 2024 blockbuster Deadpool and Wolverine. He also produced the Ridley Scott directed The Martian, which is a great movie, by the way. And he scripted Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which I like, and co-wrote the film that launched the Sherlock Holmes franchise with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. That was the one that was directed by Madonna, her ex-husband, Guy Ritchie. He also produced the Kenneth Branagh Agatha Christie film trilogy that starred The Murder on the Orient Express. Speaking of which, the original Murder on the Orient Express is on, I believe it's on HBO Max. I put that in my queue because I was like to say it because I was like, oh, I've never seen the original ones, and I always love like classic movies and stuff. So I'm like, if y'all remake something, I definitely want to watch the old one and kind of get that whole vibe. So I'm gonna definitely check that one out. They said, in short, he's comfortable in the franchise sphere. Now, upcoming, Kinberg is producing Paramount's remake of Stephen King's The Running Man, which I will say just went into production because I saw some photos of Glenn Powell on set. It actually, from the shots, I mean, the photos that I've seen of The Running Man, I was like, okay, that looks pretty cool. Like, I like all that kind of futuristic, retro futuristic type of stuff, and then how they were like with some of the clothes that you see Glenn Powell wearing, it does pay homage to what Arnold Schwarzenegger wore in the original The Running Man. And the funny part is, The Running Man is coming at the right time because the way our government's about to go and shift in in a couple of months, we definitely gonna be seeing a lot of these fascist, The Matrix, The Running Man esque type movies that are going to be probably dominating our big screens. But I should say Edgar Wright is directing that film, and Glenn Powell is playing. I don't know if I don't remember if I said his name already, but I probably did. But Glenn Powell is playing the Arnold Schwarzenegger role. I wonder who's playing the Maria Conchita Alonso part because she was in the original movie. So it said Josh Brolin's also in it, Amelia Jones, William H. Macy, and Lee Pace. And I love me some Lee Pace. How he doing? He also is attached to produce Paramount's Star Trek movie directed by Toby Haynes and penned by Seth Grahame-Smith. So we finally get a new damn Star Trek movie because it's been a minute since we've been getting one of those. And we've been hearing back and forth how Chris Pine and them talking about they ready to come back. And it's like, what's going on with this Star Trek movie? And I like Star Trek. Well, The Next Generation will always and forever be like my all-time favorite of the franchise. I'm not a big Trekker. My father is, but whenever any new Star Trek stuff that comes out, I will sit and watch it. And I like Strange New Worlds. That is on Paramount Plus. They didn't cancel it, so I shouldn't say was, as in past tense is, because it's currently on. And I liked Captain Pike and all that stuff. So that's a good show. And I love me some Anson Mount. First of all, Anson Mount, why does that sound like a porn name? But so I say all this to say because I'm actually excited on one hand for this that we're getting new Star Wars and that Simon Kinberg is behind it because he's a Star Wars fan. My thing is, I just hope that it gets done and Kathleen Kennedy stays out the damn way and lets this movie get made. So I started to say, what do y'all think of this movie? Are y'all excited to see a new Star Wars? Well, a trilogy of Star Wars movies set to be coming to a theater near you. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Yes, the app child. It's funny you said the act like I totally forgot about that show. It was. I watched the first episode. I was done. I was like, this is stupid. And it has nothing to do with the fact of like, oh, you have a woman of color. Now the incels wanted to play into all of the identity politics and oh, you got a girl's a lead. Like y'all hate women so damn much. It just baffles me. That didn't bother me. The bothered me was that damn script. That's what bothered me. And the fact that when you look at Star Wars to me is not something that is meant to be on the small screen. It's meant to be on the big screen. And when you look at something like that, I don't want to be looking at a Star Wars on my little TV. Well, no, I don't have a little TV, but I don't want to be looking at Star Wars on my television because it's like the way that the visually it all looks. It's supposed to look and feel expensive. And when you put it on a television, it kind of just like it takes you out of that. So I would need to see Star Wars in a theater. like I saw the other Star Wars films. Considering that what the original brought to the world, story, special effects, new equipment, etc., for that time was simply genius and groundbreaking. Agreed. They need to continue the Din Grogu, colloquially referred to. Well, I think they are. They're doing a Mandalorian movie. First of all, I believe it's finished. So there's a Mandalorian movie coming out, and from what I've heard, that is the final season of the Mandalorian. So hopefully they do conclude that story with that. Onyx says, "Did you know that the Grammy nominations being say what? Hold on." And this was not on my bingo card. I was like, I didn't know they were doing the Grammys. But why they said Grammy 2024? Oh, they said how to watch the 2025 Grammy nomination announcement live. Um, so yeah, they're talking about. And they got a picture of Kylie Minogue, the eighth. Oh yeah, they said that 7 what is it, 7:45? Yeah, so 10:45. You know what do is I'm probably throughout later on in the show, I'm probably gonna y'all just gonna have to remind me. I'll refresh and I'll look and see like if the nominations is up and we'll do it in real time. We'll go through the nominations because I had no idea that they were doing the Grammy nominations right now. So you said X Onyx what little rat Latin boy in drag. Why are you crying? Shout out to my movie Tu Wong Fu. Cowboy Carter just got nominated for Best Country Album. Well, good for her. Brat got her Album of the Year nomination. Yes. Cowboy Carter, The Torture Poets Apartment, Midwest Princess, Brat. Not Midwest Princess. Look, didn't Chapel Roan say she didn't want no Grammy? She said she didn't want one. Look at them giving it to her. So I'm one of the people gonna call her out for being a hypocrite. But where am I going? Let me see if it's probably still. I mean, are they done or is it still going? Because I was gonna say, I was trying to see if like on that grape juice, if any one of them had it. But like I said, I'll just wait until I'll wait a little bit. Like maybe in like another 30 minutes, I'll check and see if the full situation is up and then we'll talk about it. So you said, what is it? Cowboy Carter, Torture Pose Apartment, Midwest Princess, Brad, Short and Sweet, and Hit Me Hard and Soft were all nominated for. Well, definitely those, I will say, even though I didn't particularly care for Sabrina Carpenter, um, that is a pretty good list of people that are on there. I'm not surprised that Billie Eilish is on that list, especially because the album is really good. And her tour. I love the tour. So all the main pop girl. Chill, that because that album was garbage. You didn't realize I was live. What is it with YouTube not giving us the notifications? I don't know. Sometimes you gotta unsubscribe and then subscribe back. They're just weird in that way that they don't give the thing, which is why also I try when I'm on Facebook and stuff, I just tag people to let people know that I'm doing a show at this specific time. And then I'll do the highlight and all that other and the followers and all of that stuff. So if people want to come in and watch the show, they could do it that way. But I don't know. A lot of times that happens with um YouTube. Okay. It said double check that you are still subscribed. I was gonna say YT. You saying YouTube. I've been kicking people off for no reason lately. Okay, you said the live stream just ended. But my thing is, will the blogs wait, it's Grammys 2025. Why did I put Grammys 2024? Oh, yep, I got it. Hold on, girl. Hold on, girl. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Cause now I'm like, y'all took over the damn show. No, I'm just playing. So we got the Grammys list. And you know what? Oh, you are? Well, her show was the day before Halloween at my job. I didn't get to, unfortunately, I didn't get to work it. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's pull up the full list and we'll just go through it as a clap. But I wanna mirror the screen. Hold on. Share the screen with the fans. So we'll go through it. Okay, so now it says the nominees for the 2025 Grammy Awards are in. It is yet another banner year for Beyonce, who leads the pack with 11 nominations, extending her career total to a record-breaking 99. Shout out to Pitchfork for this, by the way. Behind her are Grammy favorites Billie Eilish, Post Malone, and Kendrick Lamar, as well as Charlie XCX, who gets her first big score with Brat. Those four artists received 7 nominations apiece. Now, 6 nods make for a relatively quiet year by Taylor Swift's dominant standards, but a good one for Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan, who also notched up 6 in their maiden Grammy years. As well as the above mentioned artists, full lengths of Torture Poets Department, Cowboy Carter, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Brat, Short and Sweet, and The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. The Album of the Year category features Andre 3000, not Andre 3000's album, not with them wind chimes and shit that you listen to on a record. Y'all really nominated that? But I get like how the Grammys is. The Wind Chime album. So anyway, so it's a Woodwind album, New Blue Sun, and Jacob Collier's what is that? Jesse Volume 4? Excuse me. Record of the Year features singles from all of the above except Andre 3000 and Collier, who were replaced by the Beatles Now and Then, and Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Child, I know Drake is seething over that. That song accounts for most of the rapper's 7 nominations, though his collaboration with Future and Metro Boomin, like that which sparked the Drake beef that led to Not Like Us, is also in the mix. And I think they doing that because, Drake said what he said about the Grammy, so they're like, okay, mother flower, we about to stick it to your behind. As well as Carpenter and Rome, first-time nominees includes Beyonce collaborator Shabuzi, who got 5 nominations. Congratulations to him, along including Song of the Year for a bar song Tipsy. I have to say, I do love that song, and especially like if I'm at work and that song comes on, I do be able everybody in the bar getting tipsy. I do be able to sing that song. And then and Doshi has 3, including Best New Artist. Now I have to say, a lot of y'all, I ain't saying you. If it don't apply, let it fly. But a lot of y'all have been sleeping on my girl Doshi. I love her new album. I don't know if her new album was nominated because it don't say, but I love the new album. She kind of reminds me of LaKaylee 47. Whatever happened to her? They kind of have that like similarity in they kind of their flow, style, and cadence and all the other stuff. They also said a Grammy Hall of Famer, the late Chick Corea, picked up 3 more nominations, bringing his all-time total to an estimated 75. That puts him in joint 5th for most nominated artists ever, alongside Kanye West. One notable absence is Zach Bryan, who reportedly withheld his music for Grammy consideration. The country singer does not feel comfortable with award shows making music competitive. Sources told Variety he joins a lineage of artists to snub the Grammys, often citing institutional bias, including Drake, The Weeknd, and Frank Ocean. Now, here's the thing. I actually agree with them on that I do feel like a lot of times with the Grammys, it does feel a little bit biased that and very much political, but I think when you're in those type of places, that's what's to be expected. Now, if you're someone who is just like, you know what, I'm an artist and I'm all about my art and being creative and stuff, then you know what, I can't fault you for that. Not everybody is in this to just be collecting awards and doing all that stuff. Not everybody's here for that. Some people just like, you know what, I'm just a creative thing. I mean, I'm just an artist. I just want to use this shell, this vessel of mine to push out this these creative things that's coming through me. So let's go through some of them because I'm getting going through all of these, chat. We'll be here all day. So, record of the year: The Beatles, Now and Then, Beyonce, Texas Hold'em, This Ain't Texas, Billie Eilish, Bird of a Feather, Chappell Roan, you know I love me some Good Love Babe. Charlie XCX 360, Kendrick Lamar Not Like Us, Sabrina Carpenter Espresso, and Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone Fortnite. Now, who do y'all think is going to win that one? I don't think Beyonce is going to win it. If she does, I will be shocked. I would love to see Chappell Roan get it. I'd also like Charlie XCX to get it too. This is going to be a hard one. Espresso, yeah, it's a popular song, but I don't see her winning for that. Why do I have a feeling they're going to give it to Taylor Swift, though? Because I see how y'all be doing over there. That's where that term, what was the term that they said? Institutionalized institutional bias. That's where that comes in. So then it's the album of the year. It said Andre Child, you might as well. It's great that you got the nomination, Andre, but you ain't winning. Not for that Wind Chime album. Album of the year, Cowboy Carter. She's never won an album of the year. It would be nice if she could get one. Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Chaperone, The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess, Charlie XCX Brat, Jacob Collier, Jesse Volume 4, Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet, Taylor Swift, The Poets Department. This is going to be a tough one. I honestly cannot, off the top of my head, know what's going to get picked. In a perfect world, I would love for Cowboy Carter to win it only because Beyonce's never secured the Album of the Year Grammy. So it'd be great, but there was so many great records that came out this year. Chaperones, The Rise and Falls of Midwest Princess. That is such a good record. Everybody got caught up in Brat Summer, now Brat Fall. Sabrina Carpenter, yeah, she's been sounding out arenas and she's been successful, but I don't really hear a lot of people talking about that Short and Sweet album. Or maybe I'm in a silo and I haven't been paying attention, but I don't think that a lot of people have been paying. I don't hear a lot of people talking about Short and Sweet. Now, as far as the Torture Poets Department, we already know what Taylor Swift, what kind of year she's had, that she's had a very successful stadium tour, 3 times over. She's been promoting that album for the past 2 years. Since she made the announcement that she was releasing that album that she was coming out with a new album at the Grammys. So she's got enough album of the years. I hope that she sits this one out and it goes between, I'll just say it, if it's between Beyonce, Billie Eilish, and Chaperone. As much as I like Charlie XCX, and she's had like a great year in regards to the music and everything. And we did talk the other day about how they said her tour with the Sweat Tour with Troye Sivan, I think only accumulated like under $30 million. And it was for like 20 something shows. And now we look at it like, that's not, I don't think that money wise, we're doing the math. That's not really good. Like you did 20 something shows and you bringing in under $30 million. Like, and then you doing arenas, you should have did smaller venues. You probably would have accumulated a whole lot more instead of putting so much in those, in their whole arena setting. Because no shade, while I felt Troy gave the stronger show because he gave dancers, he gave, he had props and all that good stuff. Charlie was up there by herself. So, and if you're going to be this one looking like a little tiny ant in this giant arena, thrashing around a stage to your hyper pop, like that doesn't, to me, it didn't feel like it fit in an arena setting. So I don't know. So basically I'm just stuck between I'm stuck between Chaperone, Billie Eilish, and Beyonce. I'm thinking it's gonna be one of those 3. If Charlie is to walk away with the album of the year, the AOTY, and is highly unlikely, I will be shocked. But I'd be happy for her. Now, the song of the year, Beyonce, Texas Hold'em, Billie Eilish, Birds of a Feather, Chaperone, Good Luck Babe, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Die With a Smile, Sabrina Carpenter, Please, 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 Shabuzi, A Bar Song, Tipsy, and Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone, Fortnite. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have been listening to Good Luck Babe. First of all, I've had that song repeat. I was listening to that song. I listened to that song about 3 times yesterday. So, Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone, Fortnite. Why do I have a feeling they're going to give it to her? Because it's Taylor Swift. But it's like, how many people actually listen to that song outside of the Swifties? So, I don't know. And then Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, that Die With a Smile song, while I don't particularly care for that album, well, the Harley Quinn album, and then this song. To be honest, the song did relatively well on the Billboard chart, so I could definitely see that being a contender. But I don't know; it's hard. Like I can't figure out who should win that. These categories gonna be hard. I am so glad I'm not in the Academy and I ain't gotta make this choice. So they have Best New Artist, and then we'll be done because I'm not going through this whole list. So they basically said Benson Boone. First of all, that is a fine ass boy. Now, like I said, I ship a sex tape between him and Shawn Mendes. So they got Benson Boone, Doshi, Chaperone, Kurangbin. I never heard of them. Ray, who y'all know had huge success overseas in the UK when she won the oh my god, which is it? The Brits, which is basically their version of the Grammys. Sabrina Carpenter, Shabuzi, and Teddy Swims. Now here's the thing: Sabrina Carpenter is not new. This is her 6th album, so I don't even know why she's in this category. Shabuzi is somebody who is basically, he's been putting out good music, but now because he's associated with Beyonce, I could definitely see him walking away with that. Teddy Swims, I actually like him too. He has a great voice, and he reminds me of oh my god, who is the other singer that's big? Um, I forgot his name, but anyway, so and funny enough, I just did his damn show. But he reminds me of him vocally. So I could definitely see like Teddy Swims, great singer, but I don't see him getting best new artist. I do like Chaperone. I do like Ray. Sabrina, like I said, is not new. I would like for Benson Boone to win, but I feel like not enough people know him to do that. Yeah, he did his little yang 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 at the VMAs. Almost forgot what that was too. Yeah, he sang his thing and started doing backflips off his shit at the VMAs. But outside of that, and we've seen like stuff of him on TikTok, so I know the TikTok girlies are familiar with Benson Boone. But do I see him walk away with Best New Artist? No. I feel like it's probably going to go to Chaperone. I feel like it's going to be between Sabrina Carpenter, which I don't understand why. Like I said, this is her 6th album. Y'all just now heard of her, but she's been putting out music. So technically, she's not new. So I could definitely see, like I said, I guess between Chaperone and Sabrina Carpenter. And while Ray had like a phenomenal year overseas, I don't think a lot of people know her in the US. Okay, so they said best pop solo performance: Beyonce, Bodyguard, Billie Eilish, Birds of a Feather, Chaperone, Good Luck Babe, Charlie XCX, Apple, Sabrina Carpenter, Espresso. Now, Ariana Grande did get nominated for a Grammy though. Well, she got 2. So it's Ariana Grande, Brandy and Monica, The Boy Is Mine remix. Now I'm gonna say this: I did not like that song. I was like, this is totally unnecessary for y'all to even do this. And just because you added them 2 on the song doesn't elevate it. So we can cancel that song out. I did like Levi's Jeans by Beyonce and Post Malone. Charlie XCX and Billie Eilish. Now, child, I seen Billie Eilish perform that at her recent tour, and then had Charlie on the screens. Charlie couldn't be there because she was in LA doing I believe the Sweat tour with Troye Sivan around the same time when she was at the Garden, so she couldn't do that then. So I do like that song, and I would like to see them win. So, but do I see Charlie and Billie walking away with it? Well, we'll see. And then also Ariana Grande got Best Pop Vocal Album for Eternal Sunshine. So it did get a little nomination up in there. Now I do like Tame Impala. So I do like the fact that they're in Best Dance Electronic Recording. I don't know. I just immediately jumped to that, and I was just like, screw the Best Pop Vocal Album. But y'all can see it up in here. Oh yeah, let's go to the dance one. So they said Best Dance Electronic Recording: Disclosure, She's Gone, Dance On, Fortet, Loved, Fred Again, and Baby Keem, Leave Me Alone, Justice and Tame Impala, No Never Render. First of all, the new Justice album, I'm living for it. So I'm definitely for that. And I love me some Kaytranada. So and I think he and Childish Gambino released the video for Witchy a week or 2 ago. So I love Kaytranada's new album. Disclosure, I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't even know they put out music because I mean I listened to their earlier stuff, but lately their recent stuff I haven't been keeping up with them. It's kind of like there's certain artists like when you like them in the beginning and then over the years when they start putting out more music, it's like, okay, y'all getting a little too mainstream with your sound, and this is not pulling me in. And I'm a house head, so. Now they said now Best Dance Pop Recording. I don't know why Yes Anna's on here. That dated ass dance track. Billie Eilish, Le Mot de ma Vie. Over Now Extended Edit. I don't think I remember what that song sounds like. Charlie XCX, Von Dutch, Madison Beer, Make You Mine, and Troye Sivan, Got Me Started. The amount of dance tracks that I heard this year, I don't know who put this together, but no. I'm thinking that's going to go to Von Dutch because number one, Troye Sivan Got Me Started. Yes, cute or whatever. But I'm not feeling that. Not and Madison Beer, no ma'am. Billie Eilish, okay. Yes, Ann should not have been on here. Why is Kylie Minogue not on this list? She did put out some dance music. Padam Padam is not the only song that she did. So, but there's some dance stuff. Then they have Best Dance Electronic Music Album: Charlie XCX, Brat, Fortet 3, Justice, Hyperdrama. Now, Justice Hyperdrama was good. This Timeless was good. I'm not really big on Zed, so I don't even know what that album sound like. And Fortet, Not familiar with them either, but I know what they give though. So I'm thinking that, looking at all this, even though Kaytranada is the real deal when it comes to dance music, and I love me some Justice, I have a feeling for the situation, they're going to go with Charlie XCX. And the last one we're going to do with, I know I keep saying that, the last one. Best remix recording, Charlie XCX, Von Dutch, AG Cook remix featuring Addison Rae. Now that is a good song. Doechii and Kaytranada featuring JT, Alter Ego. That's another good song. Julian Marley and Andreas Jasidim. I don't know that song. Sabrina Carpenter Espresso remix, no ma'am. Shabuzi and David Guetta, a bar song remix, no, no. I like the original, the remixes, and David Guetta been dated. His sound been dated for eons. So no. So I'm thinking it's gonna be between Doechii and Kaytranada and Charlie XCX, but I feel like Charlie's gonna walk away with it. I feel like with all the dance stuff, Charlie's gonna walk away with it. So yeah, that's all I got so far. If y'all want to see the rest of the list, I'm sure y'all could Google Schmoogle and look it all up online. But yeah, we got a whole lot of stuff to get to on this show, so I don't want to just spend it all on going down the list of Grammy stuff. But so far, it just seems like okay. I'm not upset about the whole Grammy thing. I would be curious to hear um what albums people feel that were snubbed. But based off the AOTY nominations, I'm like, majority of these records I listen to, except for what the hell is it? Andre 3000. I don't know what that, like I heard about the album. I'm like, I want to hear that mess. I want to hear rap. Like if you're gonna give me Andre 3000, I want some of that kooky out of space, Erica Badu isms when it comes to your rap. Because remember, once upon a time they used to be together and they had a kid. They did have a kid, right? I do, yeah. Or am I wrong on that? Sometimes I can't keep track of how many kids with how many different people Erica Badu done had one with, but I do believe she has one with Andre 3000. But anyway, I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this? Are you excited for the Grammys? Did you were your faves nominated? And who do you think are going to win in some of the categories that I had listed? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so Onyx said, I love the Andre 3000 album. I love ambient music, even if it's not the solo rap album we wanted. So maybe I need to listen to it. I was like, I don't want to hear none of that flute music. I want 360 to win record of the year, but it will probably go to Sabrina or Kendrick in terms of popularity. Yeah, because that's why I was looking at like Grammys over trying to play like the we're artistic, but I don't know. Y'all give me like y'all play into that whole vibe of popularity and all that mess. I don't know if Beyonce will win after Jay-Z's tantrum. Well, child, if she do win, I'd be shocked. I'm like, oh, they must have forgave them for that. Because yeah, I was like, yeah, you pretty much just pissed in the cereal by doing it to her. If Cowboy Carter is her album of the year win, it would feel so unauthentic. Oh yeah, because with it would feel yeah, it wouldn't feel authentic only because it'd feel like, oh, you're just giving them giving her the Grammy because Jay-Z went and whined and complained last year. I was like, my toe is itching. I was like, because Jay-Z whined and bitched and moaned about his wife not winning a damn Grammy. So now we just gonna give it to her to shut them the hell up. It was like, yeah, I can agree with that. Now, if it does happen next year for the rock album, which some people were feeling like she gave hints with her Halloween costume when she came out dressed as Apollonia, when she came out dressed as, what was the other singer, Betty White, and then she came dressed up as Prince. So she kind of goes into that whole vibe. I'm like, let's see it. I mean, didn't she kind of do that with the 4 album? But the 4 albums kind of was like that backyard cookout retro R&B music. If she gonna go harder and kind of give us like that whole Prince type of vibe or whatever, like very Minneapolis. I don't know why I couldn't say Minneapolis. And then work with Mars Day and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and all the other stuff. Because Janet ain't using them, so somebody got to. And you can give us that, then that would be a key. I want Brat to win album of the year, even if Kamala losing the election is now associated with the album. Well, look, that and Beyonce's Freedom. I want Sabrina to win song of the year. That's my favorite song out of all of them. It might go to Kendrick or Taylor, though. Yeah. Best new artist. is easily between Sabrina and Chapel. No shade to Benson Boone and Doe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, when it came to best new artist, it's like it's going to be Sabrina or Chapel. But I feel like give it to Chapel Roan because number one, Chapel Roan is someone who has been around for 15 years, but she's finally getting success because of all the hard work that she's put in for the 15 years that she's been working to get into the industry. And it just, she just came out of nowhere after, touring with. I always get it confused. Who did she tour? Okay, she toured with Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know why I always confused because it was like Sabrina broke out because she toured with Taylor Swift. Chapel broke out when she toured with the other girl, as I said before. So yeah, like I said, Benson Boone. People aren't really that familiar with. Like, we see him out and about, and he's been performing here and there, but his presence hasn't really been in the industry, like in our faces, as much as the pop girlies have. Like a lot of people are more familiar with Chaperone and Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter has put out album after album after album after album. She's a Disney girl, so it wasn't until like she got with Taylor Swift that it kind of like it just pushed her out into the forefront, and now she's getting all these accolades. But I feel like the real Cinderella story is coming from Chapel Roan, and I would like to actually see her win Best New Artist. And you said you might want to check our Best Pop Dance recording. Kylie presented the nomination. Oh, okay. She presented the nominations, but she ain't get one. She should have got one though. But look, she got her 2 Grammys. She good. Ariana's album just got overshadowed and flooded in all the other pop albums released this year. Even a retired Arianator didn't get not a retired one. That's what I said. I listened to the album once. I'm like, this shit is boring. But yeah, whatever. You said well, plus with the scandal Ariana had with her boyfriend, lack of promo for her album. Yeah, she wasn't out promoting it. She wasn't performing. She wasn't doing anything. She would drop little videos and all other stuff, but she was more focused on this Wicked movie, which I'm hearing is getting good reviews. I'm like, okay, that's great. I mean, I don't care because I'm not gonna go see it, but that's just not my judge. But if you like it, I love it. The Billy song nominated in the pop dance category is an interlude she released to compete with Taylor. I don't know why I got nominated. And so that's why I'm like, I'm not really familiar with that. But we're nominating interludes, like really, like there's so many different dance tracks that dropped this year that y'all could have been out here nominating. I don't know if any songs from Tension 2 were eligible to be nominated in time from when it was released. But there was even though I do feel like Tension 2 is better than the first Tension, um, they have much better songs on that album that you could nominate. That's way better than the songs you have in the dance pop category. So y'all just pulling things out y'all behind just to throw up in the nominations list. So I'm sure like the hardcore house heads and rock people and all other stuff, they're looking at that list like, what the hell is this? So that's why I was like, I don't mind the whole album of the year and all that stuff because I'm like, okay, we already knew like who's gonna get those nominations. It was gonna be mostly female dominated. Doja Cat didn't get any nominations for her album, so she did all that demonic stuff. Wait, when did Scarlet come out? That was last year? So it's eligible to be. Well, I guess it is. We're eligible to be nominated this year. It is what it is. Okay, so now that we got the Grammy stuff out the way, let's talk about the Queen of Pop, Madonna, who ate an F word anti-Trump cake because she, like a lot of people, was shocked when they found out that Trump won the election and he's about to be the 47th president. So, she's drowning her woes in some cake. So, according to reports, it said Madonna stuffed her face with a F Trump cake on Wednesday after the shocking U.S. presidential election results. The 66-year-old Queen of Pop went on to blast the newly re-elected president over being found liable for S.A. in E. Jean Carroll's $88.3 million libel 2023 lawsuit, as well as his 2024 conviction on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, which he denies. But we all know that he did it. And the fact of the matter was, there's a whole lot of stuff going on that y'all could be trying to put in place and do all these other things, but y'all dragged y'all feet. We are here because a lot of you people behind the scenes in the legal departments refuse to take action. Y'all just dragged your knuckles on the ground, and this is what we get. So deal with the consequences. Y'all don't clearly care about this country. What are y'all worrying about his supporters? So Madonna, who boasts 53.6 million social media followers, captured her selfie trying to get my head around why a convicted felon, R-word, bigot, was chosen to lead our country because he's good for the economy. And the fact of the matter was, like, he was the president before. This is what shocks me about people and their decisions. It's like, this ain't the first time that he's, been president. It's like y'all got amnesia all of a sudden. So for those of you not familiar, for those of you not familiar, it said that Trump was accused of, SA by Carol in 2023, but a New York jury rejected her claim, finding Trump responsible for a lesser degree of SA. Madonna had been feeling hope for the first female president after voting for Kamala Harris in Manhattan on Tuesday, alongside, and here's where they messed up, but I had to change it. So Daily Mail had Lourdes at 23. Daily Mail, there's no way in hell Lourdes is younger than Rocco. Rocco is 24. Lourdes is 28. So there's no way in hell that she would be younger than her brother when she came before him. So, sometimes y'all need to change the things when y'all put up in there when y'all be making y'all mistakes. But I corrected it. I put it as she's 28. So they said, this is for the ladies if you're feeling blue. The twice divorced mother of 6 wrote via Insta story. She said, don't give up hope. The day after the 78-year-old politician's 2017 presidential inauguration, Madonna famously stated at the Women's March in Washington, D.C., yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm outraged. Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House. Yes, when she said that, she got in trouble for that. But I know that this won't change anything. We can now fall into despair. And it looks like y'all need to take that same advice now and just don't fall into despair. It's like you could be angry, you could be pissed off, you can be scared, which I know a lot of people who, and especially, if, you white folks over there that decide to vote for him and you dumb pick me Latinos, y'all decide to think that, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and vote for him, and you thinking that you voting for him is not going, his policy is not going to affect y'all. Oh, y'all gonna be affected in one way or another. You may not feel it now, you may not realize it. And I know there's some people out there that are starting to realize, oh, wait, so he wasn't lying about Project 2025? I don't know if it's just me, but besides the whole mess of him saying the racist rhetoric and the ignorant stuff about Haitians and women and all the other stuff, where y'all sat up in there, he's like an old man at me at the table, and he just say stupid. That's just Uncle whatever, pick a name. He just say stuff, and we don't pay it no mind. But when you talk about policy, when you trying to run the free world, when you got your hands on the nuclear codes, I think I'm gonna take you serious in what you're saying in regards of what you plan on doing with policy. And so then after he got in office, oh yeah, but by the way, we are moving forward with Project 2025, and people are starting to gag. And so it's like, look, you made your bed, you stood in that booth, you checked off Donald J. Trump to be the 47th president. So once January happens and the 2 years into his election, because that's when you're going to start feeling the shit. It don't happen right away. And this is what people need to understand about politics. Things do not happen overnight. It takes time. So a lot of the stuff that you're going to be feeling that, from the Biden administration is going to trickle over into Trump's administration 2 years in. So then while y'all thinking things is good and the economy is booming and unemployment is low and that food prices is low, because I have friends of mine that I hung out with yesterday, Jovan Aviance and his husband, who came in from Spain. I know they're going to be heading back to Spain today. So we hung out yesterday, and they were talking about how, like, the past couple of years when they came to New York, they've been eating out at restaurants and the food is not expensive. Now, when you go to grocery stores and stuff, yeah, there's going to be certain things that's going to be a little pricey. But for the most part, a lot of people can afford a lot of things. Y'all may not have been feeling it, but things have been reduced in the price department. And them tariff stuff, we gonna be paying that out of our pocket. So a lot of people out here not understanding what tariffs and all other stuff means. We're gonna be paying that extra on stuff on there. So I guess when I go and buy something on Amazon, it's gonna be a whole lot more expensive than normal because he's up in there. So once his policies start going into place, that's when things are gonna start changing. You're gonna notice it, and then y'all gonna be tight. So because I've been seeing a couple of things online where they're like, oh, well, damn, I feel like I made a mistake. Well, guess what? You're going to have to live with that mistake for 4 years because that's who you voted for. And then we have those out here who didn't vote for either. there was 2 million Democrats that stayed home. I believe, if not more, because probably they didn't like either side. And they weren't voting for Jill Stein. But I know people who voted for Jill Stein, and I guess that was just to clear their conscience. But one thing I'm not going to say is that we could blame the votes for Jill Stein for what happened. That's not a high percentage of people. That didn't even create a dent. That was just, those people voted the way they voted. And people have a right to want to throw away their vote if they want to. But you just got to realize that now we as a people need to wake up and figure out what we're going to do as a party, how we're going to change things. And the Democrats need to figure out what the hell they're going to do. Because shout out to Stephen A. Smith, because Stephen A. Smith posted this video on The View. And I understand, like, Madonna, Madonna is someone who's very vocal, who's very political in a lot of her stuff. She's been that way over the years. So this is not the first. So if y'all out here thinking, oh, well, she need to just stick to music, I don't know where the hell y'all been. But Madonna always has been someone who has gone against the establishment, who has always been very punk, who has always been a rebel in speaking out against those who are disenfranchised. Now, I did hear that she talking about she moving to Paris and she's going to stay out there for 4 years. Well, I guess when you damn near at billionaire status, it's easy for people to pick up and leave the country, because they basically be creating like a bunch of damn concentration camps and rounding up immigrants, some of these other people. And I'm sure there's probably going to be American citizens that's going to get rounded up in the mix too. So I'd be damned if I got to walk down the street with a freaking my birth certificate just to prove to y'all that I'm an American. Like, y'all gonna get off my line with that BS. Now, I don't think we'll be affected out here in New York. Now, for those of y'all that's in like Texas and all them other places, I do feel for some of y'all, not the ones who, voted for him. You get what you deserve. But thinking that you're not a part of them. Oh, we not like them over there. And I can understand why Latinos didn't vote for him. And nobody's talking about this. They feel like because they've come into the country legally, that they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, that they worked hard, that they did what they had to do. And then when you have these immigrants, basically, I've been standing on this line for hours trying to get up in here. And then all of a sudden, you jump in front of me and you getting all these things. And now I have to. And now it's like, oh no, y'all need to close that door. And we don't want them up in here because we worked hard the right way. Oh, so I was trying to look for this thing. So the latest story that came out, and especially with that, because, with the whole migrant situation. So that's where, they're pissed off about that. Now I'm hearing my mayor of New York City, well, not my mayor, because I ain't vote for his ass, but Mayor Adams. Basically, they said that he's ending his administration's controversial program supplying migrants in city shelters with prepaid debit cards to pay for groceries. Now, here's the thing. Now, how the hell? See, now this is where I said that this would piss off a lot of Americans, particularly New Yorkers, because like, well, wait a minute. I understand that y'all had a hard life, that y'all come over here for a better life, but how the hell these people coming over here? And this is no shade. I'm just saying, like, this would be my mindset. How the hell is it that I was born and raised here, that I gotta jump through hoops just to get any kind of benefit so that way I can take care of me and my family? But a bunch of migrants get to come over here and they get preloaded MasterCards. If you're an asylum seeker, you get to stay in a hotel, which is turned into a shelter. A family of 4 receives $350 a week to cover the cost of groceries and baby supplies. So that's like what? If give or take, in a month, it's $350 a week, right? So it's like $1,200 around that. We'll go with $1,300. So you're basically getting $1,300 a month, which is not a lot, but a lot of people survive on that with regular jobs. So you're getting close to $1,300 a month, so that when you can buy groceries and baby supplies and all that other stuff. But so now we're hearing that because of what happened with Trump, he's ending it. So he's saying y'all on your own, y'all gotta figure it out. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, we want to bring people in and we want to help people. Don't get me wrong, I'm here for that. But can we help our people here first before we start trying to just give money to just any old body? So I think that's probably what people's attitude is in regards to that. So I was like, I need to bring that up in case y'all wasn't familiar with it. But I hope I don't get in trouble for this. but it was on the neighborhood talk, so maybe we can get around it. But yeah, it was like Stephen A. Smith basically said how he wasn't surprised by Kamala Harris's loss. He actually went on News Nation and said a whole lot more. And he basically said that it was and when I watched his clip on it, if you watch the whole thing, I'm sure the View has clipped his whole segment. Definitely check it out. It was really good. And Stephen A. Smith was on point. I know a lot of people find him controversial. People find him annoying. Trust and believe. There's things he says sometimes that I'm like, okay, sir, if you don't sit your behind down somewhere. But he was spot on when he talked about the reason why Kamala lost. And a lot of it had to do with Joe Biden and his damn ego. And the fact of how you should have just been a one-term president as you said you was going to be. And y'all should have been trying to find the next person who y'all gonna prop up to take the Democrats into the next direction. Y'all didn't have nobody. Y'all was sitting around here just thinking, oh, we'll just throw somebody up in there. And then also what he was saying is that what people in the Democratic side need to do is stop telling people who they think should be running for president and listen to the people. The people felt like y'all was not listening to them. That's why the Democrats lost hard. You weren't going in. You weren't doing the Joe Rogans and all other stuff. She should have did Joe Rogan. She should have did what the hell's his name? She should have did Theo Vaughn. She should have did the one of the Paul brothers, whichever one got his damn show. She should have did all those, as y'all will call them, incel podcasts. Reach out to those young men. Don't just say, oh, well, they don't care about me. They're not going to vote for me anyway, so why fight for those? But you going up in there bringing Republicans into your cabinet. So if you can sit up in here and talk about, oh, you want Republicans to come up in your situation, but you're not actually going to go fight for those other people that feel left out, the ones in the Rust Belts and all that other stuff. If you're not going to go fight to get those people to come up on your side and want to answer, why aren't they coming to you? And then Trump going around and say, oh, well, she not going to come up in here. Why she won't do this show? Why she want to be over here? Meanwhile, he refuses to go on The View. He refuses to do 60 Minutes. He refuses to do all these things. And nobody brought it up. But y'all wanted to sit up here and focus so much on why. Why she wouldn't do certain things. So the media, a lot of it is y'all damn fault too. Y'all played it up with the misogyny in a lot of situations because Trump brings ratings, and that's all y'all care about. Y'all don't care about giving people information. Y'all care about ratings because you're competing with people like myself, like the Joe Rogans and all these other people, the podcasters. So they're trying to keep up with us because while I'm going to sit and give y'all the information, there'll just be a lot of people that say a bunch of stuff. And if it sounds cute or whatever, they're going to jump on it and run with it, especially when we're talking about trans rights. We are talking about, oh, well, trans people are getting surgery in prison or that, boys can play on, in girls' sports and compete with girls and all this other stuff, which I know this might be controversial, but I don't think that trans girls should be competing with cisgender girls because it is a disadvantage. Fact of the matter is you're having to take hormones and stuff to maintain your femininity, whereas women who are born biologically female do not have to do that. So why don't we, even though it is, trans is considered a minority, it's like what, 2%, 1%? Why haven't we created something and similar to like the Special Olympics where it's just specifically for trans athletes? Is it because there's not enough trans athletes out there and y'all don't want to feel like we're equal, we want to be separated? No, this is a relatively new thing and you got to ease people into stuff. Because when I tell you, when I worked that Trump rally and they brought up the whole situation and we're going to keep boys out of women's sports, I can't tell you how many men stood up and applauded. So when you simplify things for people, as ridiculous as it sounds, coming out of their mouth, when you simplify things for people, we're going to keep men out of women's sports. That to me is a click that goes over people's head where it's just like, they get it. They're seeing, because men are visual, this is what they're getting from certain things, and they're going to run with that. So I totally get why people like a Madonna would be upset. But you know what? It is what it is. But on the same token, it's like, girl, it's easy for you to get your behind up and run somewhere else and live somewhere else until, this situation is over. If it ever will be over, because he's talking about we ain't never got to vote again, right? So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? I mean, how many of y'all actually went out and took this story and came up with your own, anti-Trump cake and ate it? But I will say that's mighty creative. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. But also, hold on, because let me pull up this thing, and I'm gonna play y'all this clip of what Stephen A. Smith said on The View, and then I'm gonna read y'all comments because I do have a lot in case y'all didn't
I
see
was
it.
surprised at how lopsided it was. I was not surprised by the outcome.
Right.
I saw the outcome coming from a mile away. You have to take into account, listen, we respect our president, Joe Biden, but here's the reality. He got into office. He promised to be a transitional president, to be a stopgap to pave the way for somebody else to come on board. Into the midterms, it was supposed to be a red wave. It did not happen. The Democrats was flying high. He felt the momentum because he was the incumbent. And instead of leaving, he decided to stay. When he decided to stay, the Democrats were in a quandary because they were expecting him to leave. Now he wants to stay. They're around him. They're seeing the fastball has dissipated to some degree. They're seeing that he's not what he used to be. And what do you do about it? You grease the skids. There's no primary for him to experience. You let him go on stage June 27th, and clearly he was exposed. 3.5 weeks later, he's forced and compelled to step away because donors to the Democratic establishment, they were not going to support that. And then Kamala Harris is inserted. I don't blame her one bit. I thought she did a phenomenal job.
Yep.
She went all out. She did what she could. But you can't overcome that kind of situation. And remember, there's 2 C words that are incredibly important in America. Capitalism is one. Competition is another, because it's a metaphor for capitalism in a lot of people's eyes. Because you were inserted, even though you were the vice president and it was the Biden-Harris administration, you had folks who are independent. I'm not talking about those on the right, and I'm not talking about those on the left, just independents, who said, wait a minute, she didn't experience a primary either. And the last time we saw her in a primary was 4 years ago, and she didn't even make it to Iowa. They used that as an excuse to point to her level of inexperience. Then you got the war in Russia and Ukraine. You got the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Hamas and Hezbollah and all of that stuff. And you had Trump using codes. Look, do you want her? Where is she? Where's the interviews? Where's she showing herself? Where's the tough questions? Where's the interrogation? And he leaned on certain things. And you knew people were going to gravitate to that because right now, as divided as our country is, fear comes associated with that. And because that fear was there, he fed off of it.
Yeah.
And people bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And that's why he's the president. I was surprised.
Yep. So, but he basically said, like, all the stuff that he said, I basically been saying. So he ain't said nothing but a word. And I agree 1,000% with what Stephen A. Smith had to say, and then what the Democrats. Now, I did see something on one of the websites that they're trying to pipe up, or prop up, whichever word you want to use. John F. Kennedy's grandson, the little hot grandson, they're trying to make him like this new political figure or whatever. What needs to happen now is that, Democrats, lick y'all wounds. Y'all need to figure out how to re-strategize. Y'all really need to remake. The Democratic Party needs a makeover. Y'all need to figure out who y'all are. You need to fire the people in the DNC because they don't know what the hell they doing over there either. And we need to find who is going to be this next person and get them out there and get them going into all these little, these red state places, getting people interested in knowing who they are, speaking to them about their grievances, especially during this time of Donald Trump, with his fascist regime. This is the time, definitely a time that some of you revolutionary Democrats who are like, what, I'm not liking what's happening. It's time to step my pussy up or whatever the case is and get out there and try to bring hope and change to the world and do the work so that when you get people and then you go to all these little areas, not just the blue states, because there ain't that many left. You're damn sure you almost lost New York. I gagged when I saw that. 2 million people voted for Trump in New York City. Where they do that at? So it's like, y'all need to wake up and pay attention. In the words of Whoopi Goldberg from Sister Act 2, which I heard Sister Act 3 is coming up finally. But, if you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. So I feel like Yeah, this is the time for y'all to get on the ground and start doing the work and getting people interested in you. So that way, by the time 2028 comes around, that whole season, because I know they're trying to start this mess where it's like, yeah, he wants to be president for life. This is the time that old man Joe needs to get up off his ass and start signing things into order where it's like, no, you cannot, under any circumstances, be a dictator or try to keep the country. Like, I don't know why it's like after everything, Democrats, oh, we'll concede. Oh, we're not going to take him seriously. Oh, he's full of it. This is the mindset a lot of his fans, the supporters had when they're thinking like 2020, Project 2025, is he ain't really doing that. Oh, it's not going to affect us. This is the mentality. So this is the time that you got 2 months, give or take, to sign things in order to protect democracy. If not, then we'll just watch the country burn to ash. I'm here for it because I'm tired of fighting for something that when we have these weak ass government officials that don't want to do what needs to be done. They just want to, they love the power, they love the money, they love being a mascot for these people that, these super PAC, situations, the APACs and all of them that give them all this money. So yeah, I basically just wanted to show you that video and just give a little commentary on that. So now let me scroll on up and read some of these comments. Oh yeah, he said, yeah, I talked to a couple of people who didn't vote, and I was like, what the Yeah, people were not interested in people were not trying to spend money. I mean, people were not out here there was a lot of people that decided not to vote, apparently. And then another guy though said he wanted the check he heard he'll Oh, you mean that money that Elon Musk that was pulling scams and things? We're talking about, he gonna pay you money to vote? Oh, they was lying to y'all. Y'all said not. Y'all can be easily swayed by a couple of crumbs. And I said I insulted him because I said F the money. Money can be replaced. Well, apparently not to them. High mental ability said exactly. I despise May Adams. He crooked AF. Yeah, exactly. Because I ain't vote for his behind. I spend $300 to $400 on groceries for 2 to 3 weeks. That sounds like me. I spend about that much too. And the weird part is, well, that is kind of crazy that one person, especially for myself, like I'm literally spending $300 to $400. Because one of the things, I hate grocery shopping. I really do. I hate going to the store. I haven't even gone grocery shopping. What I've been doing, I've just been eating out a lot. So, except earlier today I did cook breakfast. But for the most part, it's just like, yeah. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta go shopping because I'm gonna be busy this weekend, so I'm not gonna have time. But Monday, I'm like, I'm gonna have to go grocery shopping. I didn't want to go. I hate being in the store and just start going through the aisles. I don't even look. My mother to this day still gets on me, and I be telling her, I was like, I just go in the store and I just put stuff in the cart. I'm like, oh, I think I need that, and I think I need that. When I was growing up, I was always taught to like write a grocery list so that way you know what you're getting. Me, I just see it, I throw it in the cart, and then I wonder why my price come up to be $400. But I do it. But then also, I'm the type of person that I hate grocery shopping, so I want the food to last in the fridge like the same as Felix, 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes longer, but it never lasts that long. It's basically like 2 to 3 weeks. Mental ability said they're too elite and out of touch with everyday people. Absolutely. And that's why they lost the election. It's like y'all are completely out of touch with what the people want. Y'all didn't really get out there and speak to the people. Kamala up in here, oh yeah, we went out, we spoke to, I said, what people? Because if you're talking about the AKA, the sorors, all those, your people, because you didn't go out to the Rust Belts. You didn't go out and talk to the regular people. Like, even though Trump don't really care about those people, he played it up and made it so that he gave a damn enough about those people where they believe in him. So maybe I need to fake it a little bit more over there on the Democratic side. Because I do feel like both sides is shit. No shade, but shade. They said they didn't learn from 2016 with Hillary. No. And y'all thought that y'all could just throw somebody out there because y'all realize y'all messed up, because ego is basically, in a nutshell, based off of what Stephen A. Smith said, ego was why y'all lost. Y'all lost the election due to ego, due to Joe Biden's Botox ass ego. Yeah, that face is frozen. Because you can't tell me that's natural oldness. He's had some work done. And if that's what you want to do to maintain your youth, then go ahead. You go up there and you get you the share special. But for the most part, It was ego. That's why y'all lost the election. So hopefully you learn your lesson. And then in 2020, by the time 2028 gets around, there'll be a beacon of hope. Don't tell the people to fight if y'all not going to do the same damn thing. But I know also realize, you know what? Change never came to the United States by our government officials. It was always, us that had to get up off our ass and make things happen. A lot of our ancestors put their lives on the line so that way we can have the freedoms that we have today. It wasn't all of a sudden because some government official woke up one day and was like, you know what? Feel like abolishing slavery today. You know what? Feel like letting women have the right to choose what they should and should not do with their body. So it was never them. It was always us. So I think we need to remember that. We got to start depending on these politicians because they'll fail us every time. And it says, and that shit is part of the reason why so many turn to Trump. The Democratic establishment doesn't care for the people as much as the Republicans and Trump. And High Mental Illness says, I agree. And the fact that they actively sabotage both Bernie and Joe. Yeah, and I said that I don't know if he was here for that, but I said that yesterday. I said, you know what? They're still reeling because they stabbed Bernie in the back. The people wanted Bernie Sanders. They didn't want Bernie Sanders. Barack Obama, we wanted Barack Obama, which is why he won. Then it was time for Hillary to step up. There was, oh no, we want Barack another 4 years. Then it was like the Hillary thing that messed up because it was like Joe Biden, he wanted to be president at one point. Oh no, we promised Hillary Clinton, but we had to tell her to stand back and stand by because we needed Obama another 4 years because the people was loving him. So we got to hold on to that as much as we can because it's always about power. And then that's when we got Trump because people were like, well, we tired of BS. And, they played into the racism and all that other stuff. That helped a little bit. But that was just like the little seeds. Now we're seeing the whole damn root been ripped out the ground. So now we see it for what it is. And his administration is not the same as the administration it was back when he ran and he was the 45th president. It's not the same. Now, and I've seen the writing on the wall. It's just everybody else out here playing like they had cataracts. I'm sure Madonna will leave the U.S. again. I hear she's already planning to go to Paris. Well, okay. Well, don't let the door hit on her way out. As much as I love Madonna, it's like, okay. Now, I don't want to hear from a lot of you rich folks who want to sit up here and act like y'all mad. But it's like, you know what? But I could pack up and leave, and then y'all just be fucked. And then we just get to go to Paris or some other country. And so I don't have to deal with it because I get to enjoy my freedoms. I get to enjoy all the things that I get to do. But y'all have to sit and suffer. I don't because I have the money where I can just pack up and leave. And now the liberals are being transphobic, blaming black people for one thing about these damn tired ass liberals, what you not going to do is blame black people because black people showed up for Kamala, including black men. So take them grievances with your own because them clear folks is basically who went and voted for the orange asshole. So take it up with your mammy, take it up with them over there because the liberals coming over here, as my friend Miguel likes to call them, we be butting heads when it comes to politics, but we can talk it out in the end. He called them blue MAGA. And at one point, it's like, you know what? They are giving blue MAGA teas because if y'all going to sit up here and pull this mess, y'all ain't no different than them. That they are turning into the thing they hate the most. Or maybe that was them the whole time. The fact of the matter was, and this is why I said I will give it up to the maggots, as I like to call them. Like they have the Beehive and the Swifties, y'all the maggots. So the one thing I will give it to the Trump supporters versus a lot of these people who you talking about is showing their true colors because they lost. Y'all are fake as hell. And this is what I think it comes to when I look at the Democrats. I'd rather you show me who you are to my face than try to play this whole situation up behind my back. I don't like snakes. I don't like sneaky people. I need to know your intentions up front. So that way I know what the hell I'm dealing with. I don't like people that go up in here and act like, oh yeah, we for this and we all for change and we love the trans and we love the gays and we love black people and we love this until we step out of line and we every other ninja, every other faggot, every other tranny, every other name that you want to come up with when we don't give y'all what the hell y'all want. So I'd rather you just be nasty to my face than behind my back. Because then when you the sneaky one, then I got to cuss you out. You said all on Twitter, the jokes write themselves. Okay. Malcolm X and Dr. King were right about liberals, Democrats being hidden enemies and mirroring their conservative Republican counterparts. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I told y'all, but it was like when I was talking to my friends from Spain, they said if you, in Spain, Hillary Clinton is looked at as a GOPer. Like they look at a lot of the Democratic policies and stuff, very Republican. They're looked at as Republican GOP types over there. But we don't see it because we've been told for the longest that yeah, they're for the people. Both sides are full of shit. And you said both of girl don't waste your time. The Democrats are not going to change. They are comfortable where they are because they're reaping benefits that suits them. Absolutely. They don't care. So I feel like, should I care? Should I continue to vote? Because I feel like it's pointless. I feel like both of our democracies are in shambles. They're both trash. They don't care about the people. They try to give us the illusion that they do. So what's the point? Why am I voting for something when it's like, yeah, I'm not for, no shade, I'm not for genocide. I'm not for my tax-paying dollars to be going to a politician that's going to eradicate an entire race. And we all know that when Trump gets in office, he's leveling Gaza. You think what Biden was doing over there was bad? Wait till he get in there. There ain't gonna be a Gaza left. And you said even Trump came to the Bronx. Well, yeah, I remember that. And then sit up here and talk about how he's going to dismantle the board of education. Well, guess what? I'm so glad I'm out of school. So your kids is fucked. Sorry for the kids. This is why I say parents, y'all need to start stacking up on some books. Y'all better hit up on Amazon. Y'all better look at some books or whatever and get your kids smart because they're going to be getting rid of everything. Nothing will get done, especially with the career politicians. They go into politics to make money because they're all paid off by their corporate donor. Absolutely. And that's when we need to take corporate donorship out of politics. And that was the one main thing that Stephen A. Smith said on The View. And I've been saying that for the longest. We need to take the APAC and the super PACs and all these corporate sponsors and donors and stuff, because that's not money that they're just giving you because they like you. Out of kindness of my heart, I'm just give you $10 million. Like, that's not how that works. And I'm so glad I ain't give none of their ass no money. I ain't give Kamala money. Everybody was so excited when Kamala came out as the presidential. Oh, yeah, I'm going to just throw my money at her like we at the strip club. Nope, not doing it. I don't trust none of them. So I wasn't giving neither one of them a dime. I will give a homeless person on the street my money before I give any politician money out of my damn pocket. I mean, bad enough you already taken enough out of my taxes. As I also stop the college education levels of getting the word out. People are yes, they are. And I posted that on my social media, and I know people gag. I never read it in sixth grade. Well, I was always pretty wise beyond my years and smart and stuff. Like I was reading when I was like 2 years old. I was popping open books and reading and all that other stuff. My parents said I taught before I walked. That's what they say about me. They said yes, after they robbed Bernie during the primary, people said F it and they voted for Trump instead. Well, yeah, they continued to dog him. And you want to know something? That recent post and stuff that Bernie Sanders put on social media, I cackled because I was like, you better read the Democratic Party because they deserve it. Yes, I sold Laverne Cox wants to leave the U.S. That's why I brought it up. And that's also one of the topics that I have in the show later. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up later on in the show when I talk about Caitlyn, fake ass. But they said, "Oh, yep, they're phonies," and me neither gave nada. It's like, yo, I'm not giving them my money because I see through the BS. I said, I'm gonna probably leave too. I'm gonna leave and go to Spain. They said that my friends said they got a room for me. I said, move there. I just got a brush on my spine, yo. But anyway, now speaking of people, Trump supporters, and low-hanging fruit supporting Trump, allegedly. Let's get into Nicole shits on a nigga. That's what I be calling her sometimes when she get on my nerves. Nicole shits on a nigga. That's what I be calling her. Okay, so now let's get into Nicole Scherzinger, who apparently is being dragged online because of a comment that she left on Russell Brand's page. So B-list celebrity and failed pop star Nicole Scherzinger is catching flack online all because she posted a supportive reply to a Russell Brand post about Donald Trump winning the election. Nicole Scherzinger is, as they said, that Russell was an outspoken supporter of Trump, celebrated the president's second win by smiling wide while showing off a hat, which basically said on the hat, "Make Jesus First Again." So this is the hat, because I need to show y'all in case y'all haven't seen it. That is an ugly ass man. I don't know how the hell. First of all, he looked like he don't even look, that head is ginormous, and he don't even look real. He looked like one of those Mad Magazine drawings. But you want to know something? Katy Perry was having that man climb her back every damn night. So there's no requirement for taste, I guess. So Nicole is currently starting. Now, the problem is why people are dragging Nicole Scherzinger, because they're like, well, why would y'all even care about it? First of all, she was even trending on Twitter. I was like, girl, this has got to be the most any kind of publicity her behind has been given since the Pussycat Dolls, because outside of that, nobody really cared. And at this point, I don't even care if the bitch even come back to Pussycat Dolls over her situation. So what's bothering a lot of people is that she is currently on Broadway in the revival of Sunset Boulevard. Sidebar, I do wonder how Patti LuPone feels about that, because I know she was on The View last week, and she said she was going to go see Sunset Boulevard. She said on Wednesday, which was wait, what's today, Friday? Damn, I forgot. The days is blurring. So she went and saw some, she said she was going to see it on Wednesday, which was 2 days ago. So I wonder what her overall thoughts about that is. I still ain't get over that mess with her in Hell's Kitchen, but I do wonder what her opinion on it was. But I did love the fact that how she, Patty is outspoken. And I love the fact that how she said that the person, I guess, who revived the play, he said, I really wish that a lot of these people would stop reviving old stuff and focus on bringing new things to Broadway, like new ideas, new shows. Oh, wait, isn't there a new show out called Sunset Boulevard that Patti LuPone had a problem with because those cues were too loud? But we already went in on Patty the other day, so I'm not going to lash her too hard. So they basically said the majority of Broadway fans and people who work in the theater industry, she has to realize this. This is going to hurt her for commenting on it. So y'all probably like, what the hell is she saying? Because I didn't get to that. So when he posted, she said, where do I get this hat? So on one hand, y'all could be thinking, make Jesus first again is what she's talking about, because, she is, I guess, maybe a big religious type of girl. I don't know if she's cuckoo, crazy Candace Cameron Bure level of Jesus freak, or David Henry, or the Penna Vega type of cuckoo crazy when it comes to the church and religion. But people are saying, bitch, you need to read the room. Like, how you up in here saying, where can I get this hat? When he's got a red hat, and anytime you see a red hat on somebody's head, what is associated with? Even if he is talking about Jesus, which we could play devil's advocate on that. So make Jesus great again, or whatever it said on the damn thing. We could play that up and believe that that was her intention. I don't think that was her intention. She can't be that damn dense unless she really is an airhead in real life, that you couldn't associate that people think of any kind of red hat and a shirt and a thing, and based on bringing up Russell Brand's past comments of being a Trump defender, and the fact that he was also accused of something similar to Donald Trump, what Donald did with E. Jean Carroll, if you know what I'm saying, and I think you do, that she would come out here and say that. But apparently she is short but slow, because sis, how are you in an environment, the theater, that is predominantly liberal and running around with a lot of homosexuals? So you in a department where you talking about that, how much you appreciate the theater and how these people work so hard, and it's really like a game unlike no other. Like, you were giving props to the Broadway community because this is the first time you stepped in and done Broadway. And here you go, piss in the cereal of the Broadway community, who is predominantly liberal and very forward thinking in regards of, their politics, not necessarily with a lot of the way they run the theater, because I feel like y'all still need to kind of be more inclusive when it comes to storytelling. We're getting there, but not fully. But when you say that, it's like, yes, sis, you should have read the room. So people replied to her comment and voiced their distaste. One person said, Nicole, sweetie, no. Another said, are you serious, Nicole? Well done on shitting on 90% of your fan base, you predator enabler. Another person put, Nicole Scherzinger coming out as a Trump supporter makes perfect sense. Another person said, well, the best actress, Toni Rachel, got a little less competitive. Yeah, I was like, and that was another thing. People were talking that she might actually get nominated for a Tony. But let's take a gander over to Mew Mew's, who pulled up some receipts in regards of this ain't the first time her dumbass done said something on social media that made her look like Boo Boo the Fool. So according to Mew Mew's, because the screenshots that we got from their stories, someone put voted for Trump button. That's at the top, because I've noticed a lot of people have been doing that stupid button thing on Instagram. Not just with Trump, but just with a whole bunch of other things in general. That I feel like whoever this troll is, you're annoying. But then they show like where it said, where do I get the hat? So they said CBS News said in September 2023, British media outlets, Channel 4 and the Sunday Times prohibited. Oh, wait, sorry. Let me go to the other thing because that damn print is so damn small I can barely read it. And I'm like struggling to see what it said. So and I have it bigger on another page. So it said in September 2023, British media outlets, Channel 4 and the Sunday Times published claims about 4 women of being S8 or R-worded by Brand between 2006 and 2013 at the height of his fame. Then somebody put, what the actual F is wrong with you at Nicole Scherzinger? The hat aside, him just waved goodbye to all the goodwill with this comment. So for her to even jump in and kind of just like comment under, of all people, Russell Brand, knowing them allegations is why they going in on her. Then they had this comment that she came out with, where it was like Nicole Scherzinger nearly turned down Dirty Dancing role because she's anti-abortion. Now I didn't even know she was going to be a part of Dirty Dancing. That's probably so she was, I guess, up for Dirty Dancing, or maybe she was planning on doing that after she wrapped up Sunset Boulevard, because I hear that she's going to be doing Sunset Boulevard for 9 months. So it's like, what month are we in now? November. So I think I think I could be wrong. I think it's 6 months, but whatever. She's going to be doing it for up until sometime in 2025. And Dirty Dancing is being turned into a musical. But I had no idea that she was actually in talks to being a part of that. But they said this is from 2016. But I did hear that they are bringing Dirty Dancing to Broadway. So that's why I was like, weird. I was like, okay. So maybe there was talk about it before and it never happened, or maybe it was brought back then and then it was canceled. Now they're trying to bring it back. I don't know why y'all keep trying to bring things back that didn't do well, but whatever. So yeah, so they said she's anti-abortion. They said, I just wanted to encourage everyone to keep their babies. Well, maybe you need to mind your damn business instead of other women's uteruses. Are you saying this probably because you so damn skinny you probably can't even protrude a baby out of your body? So they said, okay, apparently I wasn't paying close attention to the signs. LMAO. So they're saying that, yeah, that Nicole has been problematic in a lot of things that she has said and done in the past, but now we just finally paying attention to it because of this situation. When, sometimes people ain't ready to receive the tea until, a certain period happens. And I think this is the period where people are finally ready to hear what, receive all the information, because now you have a plethora of receipts. So yeah, now they said I wasn't paying close enough attention to the signs. And then we have Tucker Carlson ugly behind, where it was like too many people will write off Nicole Scherzinger's comment about wanting that hat as a harmless accident. This is less so. And then it said Robert F. Kennedy, and this is a comment that she liked. Russell Brand, Tucker Carlson, I will restore free speech, end the forever wars, and protect children's health once we get real Donald Trump back in the White House. So Nicole Scherzinger liked the post. So this has got people believing that this broad is a Trump supporter. Girl, you should have kept that to yourself. So now you out here looking like Boo Boo the Fool. And because of this, they can't wait to get your ass up out of Broadway, because it's like, damn, we stuck with her. So y'all can't fire her. She's in the contract. So I guess the only way that you could hurt her would be in the wallets of Sunset Boulevard. And I will say this, I was excited to see this play. I've been hearing rave reviews about it. I definitely want to see what they were going to bring with it. But now that she has come out and said this stuff, and I know she deleted the post, but it's too late. The damage is done. It is what it is. So, but they said as an update, it says it appears Nicole's comment was deleted at around 6 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, November 7th, about 24 hours after she initially posted it. So she left it up there for damn near a day. And then when the heat got a little too high, because I did see her name trending on Twitter yesterday, that now she took it up. She's like, oh fuck, this might have ruined my chances for Tony. I'm looking bad in the eyes of the people. And people dragging her, and then I seen people say justice for Melody. I said, ooh, y'all shady. So remember Melody Thornton was the other one that was in the Pussycat Dolls. That was the other singer. So look, if she is in fact coming out as a Trump supporter, she better kiss that first ever Tony goodbye. That's all I got to say on that. And you know, like I said before, you are literally working in a medium dominated by queer people and liberal-minded folks. And for her to post that comment, you know what, sis, you just tone deaf. Now, I am, as I stated, concerned for the future of Sunset Boulevard. And because it just started its run. It's been getting rave reviews. A lot of people were looking forward to this thing. I really felt like this was going to be the resurgence in her career that she needed. But you know what? It's probably like that episode of RuPaul's Drag, because I told y'all I'm watching the RuPaul's Drag Race season with Miss Cracker and Cameron Michaels and Monet Exchange, all of them in Aquaria, the season that Aquaria won. I'm rewatching that season, and that was a season like when Trump was in office, and they just did the episode about the inner saboteur, and I really feel like her inner saboteur got the best of her. So sometimes y'all just need to keep y'all tea, especially when you're dealing with problematic people and people who've been accused of being on an SAer. You need to keep all that to yourself. You should not be out here liking these videos, especially when you're working in a medium that, like I said, is dominated by queer folks and liberal-minded people. And queer lives are on the line right now, especially the trans community. How you working in Broadway, surrounded by the arrogance, and you liking Trump rhetoric, and you gonna vote for him? Like, is she dumb? Don't answer that, because clearly she is. So I say all that to say, what do y'all think of this story? Like I said, I am concerned for the future of the show. And I did hear one of my friends, Boudoir Lefleur, who was a drag queen, said they need to bring Glenn Close back. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so they said LOL. Felix said, I hear people are canceling their tickets to Sunset Boulevard as they should. So it's sad that, you know what, they're about to lose all that damn money. It's like, oh no, we don't want to see this show. Because what's going to happen is she's going to have all that damn blood on her in that damn show. Barefoot on that stage in that little black dress, giving Norman Desmond tease. And you're going to have people in the audience shouting, you know, political stuff at her and ruining the damn show. And I don't want to be in there watching something like that where people just want to air their grievances and shout at her while she's watching. I was like, I just want to enjoy the play. So you know what? I'm going to go see something better. You know, especially when we talk about people where queer people were thriving before Nazi Germany came and did what they did. I'm gonna go see Cabaret with Adam Lambert. I'll go support that. I told Black folks with common sense to not intervene and help them if ish goes south. We're gonna stay our asses home. Exactly. It's like we tired of trying to be the backbone and help this country move forward. If y'all want to wallow in your racism and you want to watch the country burn so that way you can keep your privilege, because everything else doesn't affect you. And I do feel like the Democrats was wasting too much time focusing on little minority situations rather than trying to bring everybody together. Then we're just gonna watch the world burn like the Joker. So fend for yourself. Everybody's on their own. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna still drink my Starbucks. Like I'm not even going. Before I was protesting against it. Now I'm like, well, fuck y'all. I'm gonna just keep going to Starbucks and get my drinks. So on my way to work today, I'm gonna go to Starbucks. Y'all can sit and spin on it, and I'm gonna get me my. Well, I ain't gonna tell y'all what I like to drink, but I have my favorites that I like to drink from the Starbucks. I wish there was one around my way though. But and they be having some good food and stuff up in there too. I forgot they have one on Jamaica Avenue. It's like I'm literally in my phone looking at my drink order and all the other stuff. And one of the things I need to start doing, I need to start using my balance because I don't be doing that sometimes. Like I need to start using my points. Yes, the reads. He says season 10. Yes, thank you. Because sometimes the lines be blurring. I don't be remember the damn numbers. Her Wikipedia is already shady as fuck, saying she failed as a solo act because she could stand out with Gaga, Katie, and Rihanna. I mean, is that really shady? Or is it a fact? It's not a read when it's a fact. And you say all she has is a beautiful voice, and that's it. A basic artist with a lot of plastic in that face. Did you see how her face don't even move at this point? And you 46, like you don't even need all that. First of all, and she got melanin. So what the hell being Polynesian and everything, what the hell you need to be putting filler and lip fillers and all that other stuff? Like her lips is bigger than Teresa Giudice. But there's no shade of Teresa. She got some of the filler taken out her mouth. She has gotten by because of her looks too. Of course she has. But some people will fit in the category of cute but stupid, and she fits in that category. Okay, so now let's talk about Elon Musk, who is throwing a little shade at Jennifer. So Elon Musk is coming for Jennifer Lopez, saying it's rich that she's jumping on her soapbox to warn people about Donald Trump, but refuses to keep the same energy regarding her ex-boyfriend, the Diddler. And it's like, yeah, she won't say nothing about him because remember, we talked about it before when we were talking about how she was windmilling hard for Kamala Harris in Las Vegas. I believe that's where it was because Cardi was in Wisconsin, right? But anyway, she did her little speech, whatever. She got loud for Kamala. And I don't know if it was in Vegas at the time. It probably was because she was coming out of the hotel and one of the paparazzis, whatever, asked her if she had anything to say about Diddy. And she put her face down real quick and got up in that car, and that car sped off. So, faster than Mario Andretti on the racetrack. So, she ain't gonna speak on him. But Elon, shut up, because you sound like a dummy. Like everything that comes out your mouth is stupid. But I did cackle at this, so let's entertain it. Because he went on the Joe Rogan Experience and brought this up. So while Musk and Rogan discussed Lopez's recent endorsement of Kamala Harris on Monday's episode of the podcast, they claimed that her former relationship with Combs is the reason voters shouldn't listen to her. And here's the thing. Y'all won. Why the hell do you care who other people vote for? You and your interference in Trump's, political aspirations. I mean, why are we questioning your dumb behind on that? So they said Jalen was like his ex-girlfriend is. Oh God, why does he always say like a lot? You're 53 years old. You say like a little too damn much. Like you're not a valley girl. Or maybe he is. So it says J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding, she's like warning people against Donald Trump. This is what he said. How many people did she warn against Diddy, right? 0. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion, he added. The I'll Be Missing You rapper was arrested on charges. Well, we already know what the charges are. We don't have to keep going through that with every article. So I'm not even going to read all that. And then it talks about the free co-ops and all other mess. At this point, we done beat y'all over the head with the charges. So, he has a bunch of damn charges against him, lawsuits and things of that other. So Jennifer dated Combs from 1999 to 2001. However, the triple threat entertainer has not been implicated in any of the lawsuits, and it's unclear if she was aware of any of his alleged crimes. Well, I do believe that she know where some of them bodies is buried. I mean, especially when it came to the case regarding Shine. She knows what went on with that. Because allegedly, according to the report, she was up there smuggling the gun up in the club for the Diddler. She also has kept quiet about his, Diddy's arrest. They said that people in the music and entertainment industry had to know that Diddy was like abusing, well, we already know if it's saying like who's talking, kids basically, and yet they still fed him kids. Like, where's the accountability? They had to know. Well, according to some of the reports, Elon used to hang out with Diddy too. And also, let's not forget, isn't Diddy an investor in Twitter? So if we got to sit up in here and not take into what she had to say, maybe we need to dig into Elon Musk and what he been doing behind the scenes. So Sissy SpaceX question, that's his drag name, who knew what was going on behind closed doors. He reportedly used to brag about his close friendship. So I'm sitting there like, it's funny, like it's rich coming from him, and which is what I was alluding to. Y'all are friends. So you want to throw Jennifer Lopez under the bus just because you want to play on the whole hypocrisy thing. But sir, you're not so innocent. Like you supposed to be friends with the diddler. And he invested, as I said before, money into Twitter. The new Twitter, what you call it, they call that letter. I refuse to call it. I told her I will dead name that website till the day I die. So it's, I don't know if you saw this, but Puff is an investor in Twitter. This is what he once told Samuels, as in Datavio Samuels, who was from Revolt. He's the Revolt CVO, I should say. This is what he told him per character limit, how Elon Musk destroyed Twitter. I mean, quite as can, he has destroyed Twitter. Now, Musk, as you know, bought Twitter, reportedly asked, he's a good friend of mine. We text a lot. And Aubrey O'Day, who was previously signed under Combs' Bad Boy Records label, also previously hinted that Musk had friends involved in the situation. And it's like, yeah, we talked about that too. Like she said it in, I believe, in her tweet, where she was like, well, we should be investigating Elon Musk because he was having, I don't know if it was just at Diddy parties that he was partaking and going to, but he was alluding, I think she was alluding that he was having his own type of parties. So maybe it's time for us to, investigate Apartheid Clyde and see what he been up to in regards of, the behind the scenes shenanigans. Because it's funny. It's like you want to sit and throw other people under the bus, but I'm like, sir, I don't feel like you that innocent in this whole situation either. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments. Oh, wait, now hold on, because maybe I shouldn't stop this because I got some more Jennifer Lopez tea. Now the word on the street is she's trying to date again. It's like, girl, you talking about trying to get up out here and you ready to dive back into the dating pool, but you ain't even signing divorce papers yet. So according to In Touch, she looked as stunning as ever. On October 26th, Jennifer Lopez stepped onto the red carpet of her Ben Affleck-produced film Unstoppable wearing a pink bubble skirt and matching sky-high platform Gucci heels. For dinner afterward at celeb hotspot Arden, she swapped out her leggy red carpet look for a plunging light pink slip dress that shimmered as she moved. Saying obviously she's showing Ben what he's missing, a source exclusively tells In Touch. She's also sending a message to all the men out there. She never looked or felt better, and she's ready to date again. And my thing is this: why do y'all think that every time that she comes out and she wears, she looks glamorous? First of all, Jennifer Lopez always dresses glam. She has a whole team of people that, put her together and make her look great on red carpets. Sometimes it's a lot of times a hit, sometimes a miss, but nevertheless, she always gives good face and body. She always gives that whenever it comes to her whole red carpet situation. So I don't know why everybody trying to act brand new with this. But look, she has been married many a times. She was married to Ohani, she was married to Chris Judd, she was married to Mark Anthony, and then she married Ben Affleck. So she's been a fourth-time wife. Then she was engaged to A-Rod, and she was in a relationship with Chris Judd. Casper Smart. I said Chris Judd. Casper Smart. She was married to Chris Judd. Casper Smart, she dated him, and then she was with the Diddler. So she has had many men in and out of her life. Then at one point, she was briefly hooking up with Drake back in 2016 when she was doing her residency. And Drake is packing in between me down there. So she probably just needed a little piping. But yeah, they sit up here saying that she's ready to date again. Now, here's the thing. I don't necessarily believe this story, but we'll entertain it. So, to me, it's like, okay, I get it. Been in and out of so many relationships and with all this other stuff. And while I do think at some point that people shouldn't give up on wanting to find their next relationship or being in a relationship or falling in love and stuff. But at some point, you got to get right with you and figure out what it is that you want in life. Because, ma'am, you in your mid-50s, you're not getting any younger. And this is not an ageist thing. This is just a maturity thing. As you're getting older, you need to figure out okay, I'm 55. What do I want out of the next relationship that I'm with? Is it because I want to show somebody off and have arm candy? Because that's, so many ways the way you treated Ben. You treated this like this was your happily ever after, that you finally got your Disney princess, got carted off by my Prince Charming. Like, she kind of looks at relationships like they're Disney fairy tales. And like, sis, I need you to wake up out of this little silo that you living in this fantasy land and realize what relationships are. Relationships is not some little fantasy thing that you can think that it's real because when you were a little girl, you sat and watched a lot of Disney movies and you wanted to be Ariel, you wanted to be Snow White, you wanted to be Sleeping Beauty, you wanted to be all those girls to be swept off your feet by your knight in shiny pickup truck. It comes to a certain point where it's like, okay, so now you got your Prince Charming, but you have to realize once you get your happily ever after, you have to work on maintaining that happily ever after when you're in that relationship. So you need to look back on things and ask yourself what it is that you want out of the men that you want to get with. Ben just seemed like he just unhappy with his damn life. Like, y'all need to up his meds on certain situations because he always looks miserable. So I don't think there was any way of making him happy. And then the fact of the matter is he's just like your regular average guy who happens to be a big movie star and actor and director. And she is Miss Glam, Miss Red Carpet. I'm Jenny from the block. Well, you ain't Jenny from the block. You more like J-Lo. That's what she, living up that whole over the top glamour girl type thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? I've come to terms that maybe until she figures out what exactly is she wants out of these relationships, then you're gonna be single for the rest of your life, or you're gonna constantly be getting in relationships with these men and they're not gonna last. Because it's probably a lot to deal with a woman of Jennifer Lopez's magnitude. She is someone who has a lot of money, who is set in her ways, I'm sure, because the older you get, the more set in your ways that you are. So she has to figure out what it is that she wants out of these relationships. But do I believe that she is ready to hop into another relationship? Well, I mean, immediately, it's not that hard to believe based off of her past pattern of getting in and out of relationships. That you get in and out of more relationships than people get in and out of cars. So I could totally see like why this would be a legitimate story. However, in touch ain't always right. Because the New York Post, and this, I just by accident, I was coming up on this because I was doing research, but I happened to come across a story where basically they posted on November 6th that a source revealed to Entertainment Tonight that Ben is the one who's open to dating again, but that is not, his top priority. That's not the top thing that he has on the top of his list. He's open for beginning in a relationship and dating around and all this other stuff. Jennifer Lopez is the one who is not ready to date anybody right now. So that's according to the New York Post. And that she's not looking for anyone. She's more focused on her work. She's focused on her career. And that to me seems to be where she thrives the most. And I feel like that's her true passion. That's where her true commitment and relationship lies, in her music career, her film career, and all the other endeavors that she comes up with. So I feel like that's where her true passion is. Now, as far as like wanting to complete that with a relationship, I don't see that happening. And there's no shade to like that it can't happen for her, but I just feel like because of where her career and everything is, I just don't see that happening for her. And look, not everybody's meant to be in a relationship, and that's okay. You get love from all these other places. It's like the story when I told about this woman who jumped off of Niagara Falls with her 2 children. Was a 4-month-old and it was a baby that was a couple of years old, but I thought it was selfish on her part to take the lives of them kids. And she said the only reason why she did, the letter she left behind, whatever, the reason why she did it is because her baby's father didn't love her. And you're looking for love in these men. And I feel like a lot of people need to stop looking for that love in other people, and you need to find that love in yourself. Because there's a wise prophesizer by the name of RuPaul Andre Charles once said, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get a hallelujah? Wait, no, we're not doing hallelujahs because that one's going to let S air too. So can we get an amen up in here? We're just going to keep going with the Mama Ru had to say. I say allegedly on the Shangela part because Chad, you ain't coming for me. But but for the most part, it's like they're debunking what In Touch said, which I'm pretty much going to go with that. But for the most part, I do feel like, Jennifer, focus on you, focus on your career. And I've said this many a times. The love that you get is from other places, is in the likeliest of places. Your children are going to give you that unconditional love. The close friends that you have around you, give you that unconditional love. It's like when I went out yesterday and I met up with my good sister Jovan Aviance and his husband who came in from Spain. It's like when we hung out yesterday, it was like just the love from the people that actually genuinely love and care about you and want to be around you and being around your true friends. I get my love and stuff from so many other people. And I realized that over the years. It's like you don't look for it in these men because you're going to be disappointed. Now, if you having to find love in a hopeless place with a significant other, hold on to that. That's great. But everything ain't meant to last, just like friendships. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? To me, I feel like because of where her career is, she's going to have more of a chance of being in a relationship what she'll be getting it from her family and her friends and her kids. Because I don't see any man giving it to her. I don't even think a man is strong enough to even kind of go toe to toe with a Hennifer. Not in as clearly as we saw it. Ben couldn't do it either. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, you said three charge from Iraq and Iran with an attempt to assassinate into the Oh, they trying to kill child. First of all, you want to know something? I would not be surprised. We all know this is coming, and I've had visuals about this, and I've had people slide up in my DM saying that I don't want to put it out there, but look, there's some people that want this to happen. I'm just like, whatever. At this point, I feel no ways tied about any of this mess. So it is what it is. If something happened to happen, this will be the first official. Because remember, they tried to take out Ronald Reagan. And I don't think that we've ever had an accomplished assassination attempt that went through. I do feel like it has happened. The only time when was the last time it happened? Like John F. Kennedy? And of course, that was before my time. But that's crazy. So, look, this is why I would not get into politics. I'm going to stay over here and just talk about celebrities. It's easier to do that. As I'm sure, Jill, look, if you want to get her pipes clean, buy some Payne, go ahead, sis. Everybody needs some. But just don't commit to it. It's not gonna make you it's not gonna make you all or just go out and get you some. She can't be single for more than 2 months. Look, didn't we say that the other day on the show? Oh wait, Cheryl said that. Brought that up in the last show, and I said the same thing. I said I would not be surprised. He probably will. Her music, yeah, and I've said that too. It's like, to me, it's like, these are all the things or whatever. But yeah, I do agree that I do feel like her music career has always felt more like a side project than an actual album that you like, something you really put your blood, sweat, and tears in. Like when you look at certain artists, they put in, they give it their all. It's not just okay, I've got a break from making a movie, so now let's just find me some songs, give me a hit. These days, you can't even tell what's going to be a hit. Songs have to, develop. People have to like them organically now. High mental ability says, amen. Can I get an amen? That's how I get my love for my friends and my mom and my nieces and nephews. Exactly. It's like you can't. It's funny. It's like she to me is she's a Leo. They love control. I know enough Leos that I can say that. So she wants to control who's going to give her the love. It's like, sis, you can't do that. Like your love comes from your kids. That's why I see it. Comes from her kids. Comes from her mother. I don't know if David's still alive, but Lupe, her sisters, her friends, not the ones that she pay. That works in her glam squad and stuff, or her team, but like your genuine actual friends, like a Leah Remini or something or another. So sometimes the love that you want is not going to come in the form that you want it to come in. So, okay. So where we going now? Okay, so child, let's get into this Halle Bailey story. Girl, it almost makes me feel like I feel bad for Halle Bailey. I don't. Cause she, that girl's an airhead. But I do have, hold on, because I'm like, damn, you can barely, all you see on Castanet is them teeth. Because I was like, let me pull up these videos. I did not have this open. So let me pull that up real quick. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so in case y'all didn't hear about this story or whatever, so apparently Halle Bailey And her ex, DDG, her baby father, we'll call him that because that's what y'all are. So he went on a live stream and took their son Halo on Kai Cenat's podcast without her consent. So the singer who's 24, who split from the rapper who's 27 last month, voiced her disapproval in a now deleted message published to Twitter on Wednesday night. Hours earlier, DDG, whose name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., had appeared on YouTube star Kai Cenat's Twitch live stream where he showed off baby Halo to Cenat's 13.8 million followers, saying, "Hi everyone, just so you know, I'm out of town and don't approve of my baby being on streaming tonight," because it's like, wait, hold on, let me pull that tweet up so that way I can show y'all what she said. But that's the picture and that's the tweet. So she said, "I'm out of town and I don't approve my baby being on the stream tonight. I wasn't told or notified and I'm extremely upset to have my baby in front of millions of people. I'm his mother and protector and saddened that I wasn't notified, especially when I am out of town. As a woman experiencing severe postpartum, there are boundaries that I wish to be respected. Nobody knows what someone is going through until they snap." So that's basically where her head was when she was talking. When she saw that he was on social media. So in a follow-up tweet that's also since been deleted, Bailey confessed that she's been battling severe postpartum. Now both tweets were deleted, which boasts 2.2 million followers after less than 2 hours. She received an outpouring support from her fans who stressed the importance of respecting boundaries and co-parenting. And then there were some people that got mad at her. Somebody said, "Why bring problems onto social media? Call him instead. Simple." This is what one Twitter person wrote, with another asking, "What exactly is telling Twitter going to do for you?" Others even went as far as to call the new mom a hypocrite, since she herself has shared Halo's face with millions of fans on Twitter and Instagram, saying if she posts her kid on Twitter or IG, he's like doing the same thing. Oh wait, I think they said she's like doing the same thing. But several individuals point out that DDG bringing Halo on a public platform that does not belong to either one of the parents may have crossed the line. And it's like, here's the thing: what people need to realize is that if I'm bringing my kid on social media, it's on my terms. It's on my Instagram. It's on my social media. We as a collection, as a couple, former couple, we should say, because they broke up, we have to come to a mutual agreement. If I want to share my child, I should be able to share him on my social media. So that's the deal. I don't know if Halle put that in place where she had the conversation with DDG and was like, "You know what? If we're going to share our child, we can post him on, you can post him on your Instagram if y'all out doing, stuff. And I'm going to post him on my Instagram if I'm doing stuff with my son." But taking our son on a podcast where you're sharing him with the world, that wasn't part of the agreement. But somebody jumped in the comments and was like, "Halle Berry acting like DDG took his son to the hood. DDG took him to a $55 million mansion to get gifts from a multi-millionaire. I bet if she go to Beyonce and Jay-Z house and they go live, she gonna ask DDG, she not gonna ask DDG, is it okay?" I don't understand why we're making this a class issue. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact of like Jay-Z, Beyonce versus the other stuff. And number one, first of all, that's not a valid argument because Beyonce don't post nothing on her social media unless it got to do with what she got going on. If she's promoting Cowboy Carter, if she's promoting any music, any perfumes or whatever kind of stuff that she got coming out, that's the only time you see Beyonce jump online. So she's not gonna violate a situation and be like, "Oh well, yeah, we at Beyonce house." First of all, Beyonce ain't gonna have that. Like, I keep my stuff private. So I don't want all that stuff coming out here like that. So I don't understand why you're trying to make it a class issue. Oh, it's like you acting like that Castanet is ratchet. So you got it's not like you took him to the hood. And I'm sitting there like, well, look who she got with. DDG is a damn hood booger. Or try to act like one. And I don't feel away. Like I feel for her going through her mental health and stuff. But girl, this is why a lot of you young women need to start using your contraceptives and stop spreading your legs and getting pregnant by these bums. So she ain't that innocent in this either. So this is who you got to deal with for the rest of your life. I honestly feel like they both are too immature to even have a child. It's like you look at a lot of these type of good girls who get with these bad boy types. Like, what the hell did y'all do to yourselves? You got Sky Jackson out here with a damn bonnet in her head and some slippers, walking in the street looking like Shaniqua from the street. corner, looking every bit of a hood rat. Well, her doofy ass baby father walking in the street like they going down to the welfare to get, their stuff. And then you got this girl, Halle, who I was here for with the music and all this other stuff, had a great image and everything, and fuck that up by getting with this clown. Who quiet as it's kept is her Offset. That's basically what he gives me. She is Cardi B, minus the ratchetness, and he's her Offset. But this is what a lot of you girls like. So, like I said, you made your bed, now you got to lie in it. But yeah, this is the video. So I'm gonna mute it. So it's like, yeah, you see them here with Casanat is holding the baby. And I understand why DDG look doofy as hell. And it's like y'all acting like this baby. First of all, that baby look like he don't want to be there. Y'all sitting up here playing with the baby. And I understand that it's cute or whatever that you got that you showing off with fans or whatever. But it's like if I have a child, I do not want my kid on some show where you sitting there using this show to well, first of all, where is your furniture? How you got this mansion? But where's the furniture? So after the whole situation with Halle and everything, DDG went on social media to come to Halle's defense. So we have that clip. Please hold as I play it for you, courtesy of the Neighborhood Talk.
I don't like when people hate on Halle. I don't care if people think she wrong or not, or if I think she wrong or right. She could be going through something mentally after having a kid that I can't understand as a man. So when situations like this happen, I try to handle it with as much grace as possible because Halo needs her. I need her. We need each other to create a childhood that's safe and fun and memorable for him. And Halo is the biggest blessing in my life. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't remember what life was like before Halo. And I wouldn't have him if it wasn't for Halle. And for that reason alone, like, I got unconditional love and respect for her that nobody can really change. And y'all got to understand, we're going through a very different transition right now. We only been parents for 10 months. One thing I don't like when people do, I don't like when people hate on Halle. I don't care if.
Okay, so I'm glad that he actually came to her defense. That was good on his part because quiet as it's kept, a lot of men wouldn't do that. So I applaud him for doing that. And coming to understanding, it's like, yeah, as a man, you wouldn't understand what it's like for women who go through postpartum depression. I also wonder, do men go through it? I know, look, if men kind of go through menopause in certain ways, I'm sure that men have their depression situation where they're trying to deal with having kids and stuff as well. I don't know because I don't have children. I mean, I've told you I raised my goddaughter, but for the most part, as far as like that whole situation, I wouldn't know what that's like. Women push children out of their bodies. So, the chemical imbalances and all that other stuff that goes on. And when the baby is here, a lot of things that women deal with. So I don't envy her in that way. And I hope that she's getting the help that she needs in regards of being a new mom and stuff and the overwhelming feeling that is. And I think maybe the reason why people still dragging Halle is because they're still holding that mess over her head about the fact that how she was dishonest with her fans in regards of being pregnant. I understand that you want to keep that precious thing about you being a mom to yourself, which is great. Not everybody needs to come out and spill AT, but the way she went about it, I feel like in the press hurt her and made people kind of give her the side eye. So I feel like anything that's to do with Halo, people are going to go and they're going to throw their misogyny out there. They're going to dog her. They're going to make all their little comments. So I like the fact that he actually got up there and he defended Halle on some of what she said. But she also came out and reactivated after deactivating her social media and said, yesterday, maybe I did overreact and would have bought it and shouldn't have bought it here. I know that Halo was always safe with his dad. I just don't like finding out with the rest of the world what my baby is doing. Thank you, Kai, for the gifts for Halo. So it's like, yeah, she's emotional. And like I said, the postpartum depression and stuff, she's going to react. Like she's a new mother. Her hormones are still raging. That's her child. She is a mother. She needs to protect her kid. And while he is the kid's father, it's like parents need to understand on both sides. You have to communicate when it comes to, okay, I understand you taking the baby out or whatever, but you ain't tell me nothing about you was going on Casanat's show with my son. It's like, at least give me a heads up. I shouldn't be having to find out on social media what you're up to and what you're doing with the kid. So I totally get where she's coming from on that. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Do you think that she was right to feel how she feels? And I did see one person say that in the comments, that backlash be making y'all apologize for things you are not comfortable with. It's okay to not be comfortable though. It's like, look, if you stand on your shit, it's like I don't feel like she overreacted. She shouldn't have to apologize. I do feel like Halle needs to just stand on what she said and keep it moving. Don't listen to these incels on the internet. First of all, none of them is gonna raise your kid. So until y'all have your own children, then y'all need to focus on how you gonna raise your child, and you raise your child one way and let her raise her stuff. But I do agree, keep this off the internet, keep us out the group chat, and then people won't have a damn opinion on whatever it is y'all doing over there. So that's all I got to say on that. But I'm definitely curious to hear from you guys. And whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Now she's an airhead, posting all the damn drama on time, very immature. She deserves to get. Well, yeah, look, it seems like a bunch of us are, they give airhead teas. Especially her, Cardi B. I'd be like, can y'all just like not post y'all stuff on social media? It's like, I would have at least called him or text him after the show, or text him if I'm watching him and like, the fuck are you doing? Yeah, I'm channeling my Sue Simmons. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I would have did that and just been like, why didn't you tell me that you were gonna have my son on the show? Or wait till he bring the kids to the house and then put the baby in the other room. Whoever was there, they can take the kid. I said, I gotta take him in this room and cuss his ass out. It's like, can you like let me know the situation? She shouldn't have taken it to social media, because when you do that, you leave yourself open for people to say all kinds of stuff towards you, and then you got to deactivate your social medias because you're in your feelings. Abraham Lincoln and JFK are so far the only ones. Oh, okay. I figured as much. Beyonce is mum's the word. She stands in business and is about her career. Absolutely. We don't know nothing about her until she wants us to know. Girl, the internet tried to warn you about getting ducked. And look, she finally left his ass after, they done told her to get away from him. But now he out here still doing fuckboy shit or dumb stuff. Halle had a perfect image and messed it all up. Yes, she did, by getting knocked up. And that whole situation with the Little Mermaid, that even made it worse because she was pregnant when she was on that red carpet promoting it, but was hiding it. We tried to warn her, but she gaslit us and told us to mind our business. So now she reaping what she sowed. Now she's stuck with DDG for life as long as okay. That's why I said, be careful who y'all lay down with. It's the same thing I said about Cardi B. You sit up here and talk about how Offset is this, Offset is that, but I'm like, sis, you married him. He had 3 kids with him. You couldn't deny that Payne. Every time you turn around, you tell him to leave that man alone, but you talk about you horny. That's what vibrators are for. Go get you one. There's plenty of people out here that got sex toy lines. You could have quenched your thirst in that way instead of running back with that man with no condom, which I understand that's your husband, so why put a condom on him? And then you shocked you pregnant again. So now you got 3 kids with a man who you want to sit up in here and cuss out and disrespect because he keep disrespecting you. She can feel how she feels, but she could have called him directly. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know what? You should have just called him, or not even call him, because you don't want to call him on live because then they're going to be aware of it. So I'm like, just send him a text and be like, we need to talk, and leave it at that. And when you bring the baby back to the house, then I'm going to get up. I'm going to light it in your ass and be like, why did you bring my son on a podcast where you didn't even ask me? At least when you do a lot of the chat, and this is why a lot of celebrities do stuff on their social medias, that is a way for them to control the narrative in regards to their kids. When you have a lot of these paparazzi people that be trying to get shots of the kids. Back in the day when there was no social media, that's what they did. They would hunt you down. They had to pull all kinds of maneuvers and all this other kind of stuff just so that way they can get around the press trying to get photos of their kid and all this other stuff. With social media, you get to control that narrative. So that, I guess, in her mind, social media, putting Halo on her social media, and I don't know on his end, but I think in her mind, she thinks that was her controlling the narrative. When you go on someone else's podcast with this person I don't know, and it's like, okay, it's great that you bought my kid some gifts. However, I don't trust having my son out here around a bunch of damn strangers that I don't know. I don't care how famous they are. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What you just said about using a platform to control their initiative. That's why a lot of them do it, is that And even down to, even though I don't agree with it, the Kardashians giving their kids social medias like TikToks and all this other stuff. That's a way for them to control the narrative and what their kids is out here doing. Because you have people out here who just be buying up celebrity domain names and they can't even get ownership of it. So so a lot of these celebrities get ahead of it. Such a smooth manipulation. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I wasn't buying it. I was like, it's noble that you decide to come out and want to defend the mother of your child, but you still ain't shit. Now, let's go from one Halle to another, and let's go from Halle Bailey to Halle Berry, who's going through with her ex. It seems to be a lot of women named Halle who y'all real good at picking these bums. Because now Halle is out here spending all this money on this bum, Olivier Martinez, who she got a kid with, and they have two different parenting styles, and she's basically, fighting over the custody of their son, Maceo. So according to court documents obtained by In Touch, the judge presiding over the bitter divorce battle reached a tentative ruling on Olivier's plea for Halle, who's 58, to cough up, I think they're the same age, to cough up $360,000 to help him pay his lawyers. He ain't got no damn money. So they said the actor claimed he needed the funds to fight Halle's draconian request to strip him of legal custody of their son. Halle opposed the request and demanded Olivier pay her $455,000 in sanctions. The judge said that he believes Halle should pay Olivier $271,052 in legal fees and $6,015 in sanctions. However, the court also decided Olivier should pay Halle's sanctions in the amount of $59,893. As a result, the judge said the amount Halle will pay Olivier after deducting the fees she was awarded come to $217,114. Oh, sorry, $217,174. So that's basically what she's gonna have to pay him. Now, Halle filed a motion opposing the tentative ruling to award Olivier sanctions. Olivier has filed his own objection to certain findings in the ruling. Halle's lawyer argued the court's ruling on sanctions against Halle in the sum of $6,015 violates Halle's due process rights and is prohibited as a matter of law. Furthermore, the court made factual findings that were incomplete, inconsistent with, or contrary to the evidence presented. Halle is also challenging certain findings of fact that make up amounts at issue. The judge has yet to rule on either motion. So Halle and Olivier, as y'all know, wed in 2013 and split in 2016. Their divorce dragged on for years until they reached a settlement in late 2023. And so, he was also accused of blowing off some co-parenting, co-parenting therapy sessions, I guess is what they call it, and which were, part of the divorce deal. So he was kind of like trying to skirt around it and act like he had this busy schedule. Meanwhile, he's been living off of the money that Halle's been paying him. I hope it's not the money that's supposed to be going towards Maceo. In addition, she also claimed that he had conspired with one of her former employees to influence their son's therapist. Now, Olivier opposed the request to take away custody because she wants full custody of that boy. And she feels like, I know my son better than he does. His lawyer wrote the following and said, after using an extraordinary high income for months to try to create a false narrative regarding Olivier's cooperation with Halle, to which Olivier had not had the funds to respond to every letter and every email, she is now trying to use her ability to pay any and all amounts of her own attorney's fees to trample on Olivier's rights and gain sole decision-making ability regarding crucial decisions in Maceo's life, a child who spent 50% of his time with each of his parents. Now, in his request for fees, Olivier pleaded for $363,270.59, which broke down to $320,000 for attorney fees, $25,000 for a forensic accountant, $10,000 on transcript fees, and damn, why is being dealing with lawyers so expensive? And another $7,500 for an expert to testify. Olivier said that he has paid his current law firm $55,000. He also said that he obtained the money by selling a Rolex and taking out a $45,000 loan. Halle scoffed at Olivier's request for fees. She also demanded Olivier be ordered to pay her $455,000 in sanctions for Olivier's litigation conduct to date and to incentivize him to cooperate and reduce the cost of litigation in the future. Well, you want to know something? I feel like this is going to be messy. It's getting messier. They also, She also slammed him for being willingly unemployed and accused him of being the reason they back in court, saying that, you know what, he's willingly not deciding to work, that he's doing this out of spite. He wants her to pay for everything. And this is why I say, you want us to, I don't feel no way tired about it. I don't feel bad for Halle at all. This is what happens when y'all lay down with these bums. Somebody who cute, got a big old dick, and is throwing you up against the wall and tearing that coochie up. That is what you use for a fling. That's a fuck boy. You don't marry your fuck boys. And that clearly, even though Olivier looks ain't what he used to be, he was fine back in the day. He look a little tattered these days. But for the most part, it's like, this is why you don't when you lay down with dogs, you end up with fleas. And when you get a lot of these women who want to be in these high profile positions, who, for years, decades, I should say, have taken advantage of a lot of men who have to pay all this money to take care of these women who don't really have a pot to piss it in the window to throw it out of. Now that the shoe is on the other foot, Halle, you're going to have to play the game like the rest of them and pay that man what he's supposed to get paid. Now, regardless of like the stuff regarding the protection of your son, you're just going to have to do what you got to do for that. If you could prove in court that he has not been stepping up as a dad, especially when it comes to your son's needs, because according to her, she says that he has a learning disability. I think she said he had minor dyslexia or something or another in one of the court cases that we talked about previously on the show. So Maceo is acting out in school. The fact of the matter is he has his two parents are going back and forth with each other in court. I don't know why people would be surprised that this would affect him in some sort of way. We've seen that happen when it comes to when parents are going at it so much that, yes, it affects the kid. They start rebelling. They start doing all kinds of stuff. And then it's just like, it's a mess. So I totally understand what Maceo's dealing with as a little kid who just, wants some stability. But if Halle feels like that she can provide him with said stability, then she's gonna have to prove it in court. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? It's probably gonna get a whole lot messier before it gets any better, but I will definitely keep y'all abreast of this story as it develops. But let me know in the meantime what you think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now we have comments. It says she was better off hiring herself an Yeah, she was digmatized. Okay, so now we have about 4 topics left. So before we get to those 4 topics left until we get to the end of the show, if you have not already, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Now, without further ado, let's get into this Liam Payne story. So we did get the toxicology report back, but before we get to that, we're going to talk about his close friend who has been accused of kind of like abandoning Liam Payne. Because they said 3 people were arrested in Argentina regarding to his death. So Liam Payne's friend Rogelio Roger Nores, but we'll call him Roger because that's what he goes by, issued a statement denying his connection to the former One Direction member's fatal fall from a 3rd-story balcony at Casa Sur Palermo Hotel in Buenos Aires on October 16th. Now, in exclusive conversation, Roger denied being a suspect in the 31-year-old death and rubbished claims police had raided his home in his native Buenos Aires. It comes as Argentinian prosecutors probing Liam Payne's death confirmed the arrest of 3 suspects who are now under formal investigation, with one being an unnamed friend of the late pop star. A description given by authorities appeared to indicate Roger, who had accompanied Liam on the days before he passed away, had been charged with abandoning a person followed by death. How many times are we going to put death up in here? The individual in question has also been charged with being complicit in the supply of drugs. Both crimes are punishable by a prison sentence to up to 15 years on conviction. The individual in question has also been charged with being complicit. Oh, okay, I read that already. However, Mr. Nores has slammed claims that he was under investigation connected to the One Direction star's death in an emotional statement shared with Mail Online. So here's another picture of them out and about. I guess the people behind them is their security. So I never abandoned Liam. I went to his hotel 3 times that day and left 40 minutes before this happened. This is what Mr. Nordez had said. There were over 15 people in the hotel lobby chatting and joking with him when I left. I could have never imagined something like this would happen. I've given my statement to the prosecutor on October 17th as a witness, and I haven't spoken to any police officer or prosecutor ever since. It wasn't Liam's manager. He was just he said I wasn't Liam's manager. He was just my very dear friend. And please refer to the email I sent to Liam and his team on August 23rd. I'm really heartbroken with this tragedy, and I've been missing my friend every day. Now, two hotel workers were among the three individuals now being formally investigated by authorities in connection with Liam's death, according to ABC News. Because remember, they were saying that they had slipped him some drugs, I believe, in a cigarette box or something, or a soap box. That's what it was. So, and it was like a Dove box of soap, a box that was on the table. We looked at the drug paraphernalia that was all over the table in the hotel room. A lot of aluminum foil too. Says that several reports tonight said 3 people have been charged with offenses. However, sources familiar with the Argentine judicial system said that they had instead been arrested and placed under official suspicion and had not been formally indicated. It comes after the One Direction star died after falling from a third-floor balcony at the Casa Palermo Hotel. In their third official statement released since his death, public prosecutors revealed only alcohol, booger sugar, and an antidepressant were found in the former One Direction singer system. So, and they're also saying that he did not take his own life, which we pretty much know that. I don't think he unalived himself. I believe it was an accident. I do feel like he was hiding Cooter Brown, that he was near the balcony, that there was a period that he wanted to go down to the pool. The way that we've seen the design of the hotel, there was no way he was going to jump from where he was at to get to the water. He would have been hitting the concrete. His balcony was far away from the water, so there was no way he was getting up in there. But I do feel like, because they did say that he passed out before he fell over, and that that had happened earlier in the day, that when you are under the influence because you have things in your system, you're going to nod off a bit. Because there was a story that came out that they said he had the pink booger sugar in his system, but he didn't have pink booger sugar in his system. It was just regular booger sugar. And he was drinking, but he also had antidepressant medication. So you mix in prescription medication, street pharmaceuticals, and alcohol in your system, things are going to start going haywire inside your body. So I don't feel like he took his life. Now, in regards to this whole Roger thing, it's like, sometimes, you can only do what you can. You can't always sit around and try to protect everyone and everything from stuff that's going to go on. Sometimes, the Grim Reaper come and they do, and sometimes universes does what it does. So I can hang around and try to support and do whatever with my friend as long as I can. But if I got things to do, I can't sit and be your babysitter. At the end of the day, Liam is a grown man, and whatever he was dealing with, that's on them. But in regards to like the enablers, who was the one that was supplying him with the drugs, should we necessarily, and this is me playing devil's advocate, should we necessarily be out here blaming these people for what's happening with these kids in regards to, okay, not a kid, but he's a grown man. It's like, okay, if you go about your business and buy drugs, is that their fault? Or is it the person of the adult? Because they're the ones who decided, you know what, I want to go get high today. We have to, at some point, to be responsible for the things that we do and the decisions that we make, and stop always putting it off on people. Now, of course, you got your enablers, you got your people. Now, unless somebody was up in there saying, come on, Leon, let's go get high, let's go do this, let's go do that. Like, if you had somebody that was enabling him to do that, if you could prove that, that's different. But Liam, who's kind of been just dealing with a lot of his depressive stuff due to the industry and where he fit in the industry, it was just a lot to unpack. So I feel for him. I feel for his family. Now that we have all of this official stuff, that I'm hoping that Liam's father can finally bring the body back home. They can give him a proper burial, and the family can continue to grieve for this young man. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? I definitely want to hear from you. So let me know with your comments down below. Yeah, it is very sad, unfortunately. Now, what isn't sad, let's get into this damn troll and talk about Caitlyn tied behind. So now, after saying trans women aren't really women and tweeting that we cannot have biological boys with penises changing next to our daughters in locker rooms, this is exactly what Caitlyn said. Now, the failed GOP California gubernatorial candidate wants everyone to know that she's not a trans advocate. So this is according to the Jasmine brand, because I did see it over on there. So I was like, let me just bring this over here to the show. So now in the story, it says, if you're looking for LGBTQ plus ally in Caitlyn Jenner, you're going to be disappointed. The 75-year-old recently shared on Twitter, I'm not a trans advocate. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone, but I'm a trans person. Her statement came after she was called out for publicly supporting Donald Trump and Elon Musk, praising the two controversial figures following Trump's presidential election win. She wrote above a picture of herself standing next to the men. Hope is back in America. These two men will single-handedly save Western civilization, and that starts with a strong United States of America. I am here and at your service and forever indebted to your sacrifice. Okay, now she grifting for a damn job. So there go Caitlyn with her typical pick-me tease. And that's fine. If you want to support whoever you want to support, I've said that a million times. Go ahead and support said person. However, I've never looked at Caitlyn Jenner as an advocate for the trans community. I just think a lot of times in the LGBTQIA plus community, or I'll just say in general, the queer community, y'all always want to think that every person that comes out of the closet all of a sudden has to be an advocate. And not everyone is built to be an advocate for the community. And that's fine. We have other people that are willing to step up to the plate, like a Laverne Cox, who recently went with Variety and was talking about how she's possibly going to lead the U.S. And my thing is, because she said that she sat home and she cried, she kind of felt like after watching, the night when we all went out and voted and seeing the polls and seeing all the numbers and how all of a sudden that map got real red, and how she talking about that, the possibility, how our current administration is going to turn to this very anti-LGBTQ Trump administration, is basically comparing it to Weimar Germany, and how there was a thriving community of queer people in Berlin pre the rise of Nazism, and how they attacked Jewish people, they attacked immigrants, they attacked queer and trans people, and now a lot of that they feel like is going to come here, and then he's he's modeling a lot of his upcoming candidacy after Nazi Germany, that he's going to take a lot of Hitler's stuff and excuse me, and a lot of stuff that was going on over here. So, but then she's also talking about leaving. And to me, I just feel like leaving is not going to solve the problem. Whenever the going gets tough, we don't run. We just have to pick ourselves up and we got to fight. That's when the true, patriotism comes in, when you want to fight for exactly what it is that you believe in. And so she has to do that. But like I said about Caitlyn, she is, some of the stuff that she said in the past, especially when I brought up in regards of like keeping boys with penises out of women's sports, that was a big thing that the Trump administration was big on, trying to keep men out of women's sports. And how the amount of men that was at that rally that worked at the MSG were applauding that. So Caitlyn, if you're looking for her to be the savior of the trans community, look, that's fine. But we don't need you doing pick-me-tees. We don't need you to come out here and try to bash and throw us under the bus to make yourself look good. We don't need all skin folk and kinfolk is what I'll say about that. I don't always expect everybody in our community to be a monolith, because we're not. But we do have people out here who are fighting the good fight, and hopefully they don't just try to bail and talk about leaving the country. So I'm not shocked at what she said, because, Caitlyn, even though she identifies as a trans woman, at the end of the day, I feel like she could fall back on her white male privilege, because once upon a time you was a man. And to me, I'm like, that's not me misgendering her. I just feel like in your mindset, when you only trans when it's convenient, you only identify as trans, but you move in white male spaces still, and you benefit from it. And to me, you could always resort back to hiding out in your little silo in Calabasas when the world starts to burn around you. You're not going to be affected by a lot of this stuff because you're old. Nobody wants to be around your ass. And you got your protection with your money and all this other stuff. So you're not going to be affected by this like a lot of people who are not as wealthy as you are. And you can always fall back on your white privilege at the end of the day. So I'm not surprised by her saying what she said. But my question to y'all is, are y'all surprised? Whatever y'all thoughts are on this story, let me know what you guys think of in this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now concluding, I will get to that comment section in a second. Now concluding on this whole Laverne Cox situation, who did open up about the possibility of her leaving the United States after, Trump's recent win. Let's get into some of this article, what she had to say, because she did talk about how pro-LGBTQ Kamala Harris is. And she said that she had a lot of hope for Kamala Harris, especially, when I told you I watched Hope Giselle's video where she was like, bawling, crying on her Instagram and talk about how like the fear and how she's scared, especially as a trans woman of color in America, and what's going to happen to not only the possibility of her, but so many younger children, LGBTQ, well, trans youth, what's going to happen with them? So she basically said that I believe in 26 states, there's a ban on gender affirming care for young people. In 25 or 26 states, they ban trans girls from sports. There are also book bans that have happened in many states of queer authors, as well as Black authors, Black queer authors, bans on AP African American history. It's all intersectional. Certainly, I'm concerned about LGBTQ plus rights, but I think it's not a coincidence that the attack on LGBTQ plus people, particularly trans people, is happening at the same time that there is an organized attack on reproductive rights. There are right-wing people trying to repeal no-fault divorce. So it's all intersectional. And so that's why I said, if a lot of y'all think that it was just going to stop at let's go after the trans people, let's go after abortion, it's like, no, they come after everybody. Even if you're trying to, when it comes to the divorce, no-fault divorce and those other stuff, it's like, women, y'all about to be affected in your relationships as well. So everybody's going to get hit by this. So that's why I said, if y'all think y'all not gonna be affected by a lot of this stuff, you got another thing coming. So they asked also, as Mark Malkin did, because he did the interview, he said, as a Black trans woman, how do you move forward? He said, I don't want to be in too much fear, but I'm scared. As a public figure with all my privilege, I'm scared, and I'm particularly scared because I'm a public figure. I feel like I could be targeted. I think they spent close to $100 million on anti-trans ads, which I think is crazy, but they spent that kind of money. She said, then they asked her, did you call anyone on election night? She said, no, it was late. I had been texting with someone who voted for Trump earlier in the night. And he said, a queer person? And she goes, no, he's cisgender, straight white male. It's really interesting and really complicated because this friend of mine said to me that they were sad. As everybody at their job was celebrating Trump winning, he was sad for me. He does care for me and he does love me and he was sad for me. This is interesting. Well, that's weird. You're sad for the person. You care about her, but you voted for someone who doesn't care about her well-being. That just baffles me. And then, yeah, I think that what really hurts people the most is the fact that you're going to get the gloating. You're going to get a lot of people throwing their shade and their hate and their vitriol, and you got to deal with all of that. And it's like, we don't want to deal with that right now. Because I know, if the shoe was on the other foot, a lot of people would be doing the same if Kamala won. However, that's why I'm glad I had the couple of days off so that way I ain't got to deal with this mess. Because it's like if you had to go the day at the next, I feel for people who had to go to work the next day that are just like not a Trump supporter, that had to deal with a lot of their ignorant ass coworkers who are now feeling like, well, now that Trump's president, I can come out the closet and reveal that I've supported him. That I can wear my Make America Great Again stuff and I can come out and say that, well, look, he ain't going to affect me, so I don't give a damn. Well, guess what? Y'all about to be in for a rude awakening. But then they also was talking about like how they heard stories about trans people hoarding their hormone treatments, because that's what a lot of people are going to be doing in regards of, those who are still going through the possibility of transitioning or probably in their early stages, that you're going to have a lot of people saying, you know what, I'm going to start hoarding my hormones and things. But Laverne said, I'm done with my medical transition, but I have to take estrogen for the rest of my life. If I stop, I get hot flashes. It's really bad. I have to take estrogen just for health. I don't know if that's going to be possible anymore. There's a website I've gone to already. I haven't bought any yet because I'm talking to my doctor to make sure it's all reputable and good product. But yeah, I'm going to hoard as a bunch of estrogen. It's a little trickier for trans men because testosterone is a controlled substance, but there are resources online. So I feel like with that, definitely if you are a person who is trans and you're worried, I feel like this is the time for y'all to get on social media. I feel like this is the time for y'all to do your research, talk to your doctors, and figure out what it is that you could do to possibly help you with your transition. Because once those rights and things start getting taken away, especially when you're dealing with testosterone and you're dealing with estrogen and things of that nature, you definitely, I feel like, need to look into these things that will be able to help you. So he also said, do you think there's a chilling effect where trans and queer creators, both in front and behind the camera, are going to say, maybe this isn't the time for me to be pitching this story. Maybe this story is a little too trans or too queer. And you know what? This is a really good question, because this is what I was thinking too. When we sitting there talking about Project 2025 and Robert jumped in the conversation, was talking about like with this whole thing in regards of, well, I guess we're not getting Terrifier 4 because if we can't talk about certain things, and me, the actor who was it David Michael Thornton, who plays Art the Clown, is openly gay. So you have someone who is a gay performer who is playing this character, this crazy serial killing clown, in a movie franchise, and now there's this fear of like, well, damn, now that we have this fascist about to come into office, are we safe enough to be able to tell these stories that we want to tell, especially when it's showing diversity? Because we don't really have, in my opinion, a lot of diverse stories being told pertaining to queer people. And they said, oh, we see a lot of inspirational quotes on Instagram saying this is the time for artists to rise up and create the art. And I was one of them was posting that stuff on there. That was usually the time then the best art was created, was when we were pushed up against the wall and we were fighting, you know, for diversity and against adversity. She said, I think we can create the art, but is somebody going to buy it? Over the past 8 or 9 years, I've been actively pitching shows, a lot of them trans. Beautiful stories too. I'm gagged over some of the shows that didn't get bought. They were really beautiful with really amazing people involved, amazing producers, amazing showrunners, like Oscar-winning partners, really top-tier collaborators, and the product didn't get bought. It was about 4, maybe 5 years ago, I was like, they're not buying trans stories. There is brilliant talent, brilliant writers, brilliant storytellers who are trans, and so many trans stories that need to be told. But I have to be honest, I'm in a pivot place. I'm committed to trans storytelling because it's my passion. But again, I have to pay the rent. So it's like, yeah, you got to pay the bills or whatever. But it's like, yeah, they don't even want to give the platform and the opportunity for us to create. So then to wrap this up, they did ask her what was her advice for young trans person first coming to Hollywood, like who wants to come and break into Hollywood now. She says, I have a friend who has a daughter who's trans. She's 16 years old, and because she has supportive parents, she was able to transition before puberty. She did a social transition and she was able to get access to puberty blockers. So in her high school, she is stealth. None of the kids know that she's trans. If a young person has the privilege of getting gender affirming care that blocks their puberty and they can live stealth, I would tell them to do that. That's obviously not an option for everybody. That wasn't an option for me. But I think if you can live stealth right now, I'm so scared for her. Cox begins to cry. I just want her to be safe. At this point, whether you have to do at this point, whatever you have to do to be safe and not be killed or terrorized so much as you want to kill yourself, do it to stay alive. So, I feel for over there. And then it goes on to say, but I would also say that when I had dreams of having a mainstream acting career as a trans person, everybody thought I was crazy. I remember in 2011, I had done this independent film and I went back to Lucky Chang's, which is a legendary drag restaurant in New York City. And I was talking with one of the drag queens. I was like, oh my God, I just did this independent movie and I just think I had my Oscar scene. And she was like, yeah, girl, right. Like, this Laverne is delusional. But look, I don't have an Oscar yet, but it happened. I have a career as a working actor and producer and other things. Nobody thought it was possible. So always follow your dreams. Never give up on your dreams, no matter what the circumstances. I would say learn the business, learn the market, and be safe. Find ways to create your own work, create your own opportunities with social media, have business savvy, along with a commitment to the art, and never give up on your dreams. And to me, I feel like that is the perfect way to wrap this up, because it's like, yeah, just learn the business. And if you have an opportunity, put that work out there on social media. The internet is a great place where you don't even have to go through the gatekeeping, and I use that air quote, of Hollywood to get your product out there. Let's not waiting on these Hollywood people to give us an opportunity, and we create it. A lot of us didn't have to wait on Hollywood to give us what we wanted or in life, and even when it comes to politicians. So I'm here for her, and I do definitely feel for a lot of my queer brothers and sisters, especially the trans community, and what they're about to endure. And I just hope that the trans advocates and the trans public figures like the Hope Giselles, Laverne Cox, and the T.S. Madisons and so many others will be willing to step up to the plate and continue to speak out against the establishment. So I say all that to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so now we have comments. Not at all surprised. I guess you talking about Miss Caitlyn. Yeah, she's never been an ally. But that was like a no shit Sherlock moment, wasn't it? So I said, why do they announce they are leaving? Like that's supposed to do something for us. Many of us don't have the resources nor privilege of leaving. I know it's not, I know, I get it. But it's just like, yeah, that's like when it came to we was talking about Madonna probably moving to Paris. And then Laverne talking about she's probably moving. They talking about moving to some I think she said Caribbean. So I'm like, child, don't they be out there unaliving people in the Caribbean islands? For being a Batiman or whatever the case is, the way they look at y'all, they don't be thinking that y'all biological women. She said, yeah, we're doing research in different cities in Europe and in the Caribbean. You probably have a better chance moving to Europe. Don't move to Germany because I hear that they political stuff is on the verge of collapse. That'd be the last place you want to live. Maybe you need to move next door to Madonna in Paris. They said, child, that man was never her friend. The truth is that Trump will appoint more Supreme Court justices when the two old fucks, or when one of them gonna be Clarence, damn, another rapist, Thomas, steps down. More conservative Supreme Court justices, younger ones that will be on the court for a long time. And you know what? I blame Biden because Biden could have expanded the Supreme Court. He refused to do it. And look where we are. Another one that has fucked up the thing in regards to politics. As my grandmother always told me, friends carry you, but they don't bring you back. The grandmamas, the one thing about them, especially the black grandmothers, shout out to mine, who Elizabeth passed away back like a month after 9/11. But she used to always give the good words of wisdom. So this election in the past 8 years have shown this. Absolutely. Okay, so now let's get to our final topic, and this is gonna be a juicy one. So we got people out here outing Trump supporters who are on the DL, as in they like to hunch the homosexuals. So now, as the saying goes, revenge is a dish best served cold. And after Donald Trump's win as the 47th president of the United States over VP presidential nominee Kamala Harris, the gays are serving up their undercover trade on a silver platter. Now, shout out to Into More for this story. So I said the trend seemingly began on election day when influencer Edgar Mariscal shared a post reading, "If your DL trade is voting for Trump, you have the right to out them. For the uninitiated, for the child who don't know what DL trade." So basically, DL trade is basically somebody who hides undercover. That's somebody who is straight presenting, that kind of fits like this whole hyper masculine type of vibe, but on the low, they like to have sex with men. So they don't want to do nothing except have sex with dudes. They don't sit and play into all the gay stereotypes. So they secretly hook up with queer folk. So the person, who I do find it funny that this is their name, La Cucci Versace. I'm like, that is hilarious. But hold on, let me pull it up because I also got the video of the guy that got outed by his boyfriend. So yeah, so if your DL traders voting for Trump, you have the right to out them. So they here for it. So now, who's to say if Mariscal was serious or not? But after Trump's victory, several queer folks are taking his post literally. Social media user Kai Gan reposted Mariscal's post to their Instagram story, then shared a video of them in the car with another man, along with the caption, "Since we out in DL trade," and yeah, honey, since we are out in DL trade, let's do it as a family. Please hold. Because I think there's music in the background. So that's the DL trade right there. And the one that's driving on the other side is the one that he hunching. So the one with the beard is actually, secretly getting his backbone up. Now, hold on. Let's try to read it because I had to pause it. So it says, even if your Republican friends don't know about the closet you hide in and give you a seat at the table, deep down, you will always carry the weight of the mask you hide behind and internal fear that comes with wearing one. Coming from someone who has been in that same position and also hid who I really was / who I loved for fear of being outcasted from loved ones and those around me, I can't stress enough how much better life is without living with that burden and feeling of inauthenticity. Creating a life myself where I feel celebrated for who I am and surrounded with love and inclusion was the best decision I've ever made, being authentic, being a pick-me. P.S. If you ever need advice on how to live a life of repression, I'll still be here to help because I wouldn't wish the continuation of that war that rages on inside, even on my worst enemy. So, child, that was a word. And so then Gann followed up, as you know, showed the screenshot of the DMs, which I actually read to y'all. I had to really read it. I was like, damn, that shit was tiny. So I agree with him outing him. Now, I know a lot of people feel like, well, so was it right for him to do that? Hell yeah. Because my thing is, these people don't get to enjoy our company, and y'all don't get to enjoy the fruits of our labor, and then actively vote against us, our freedoms, and the right to have the same spaces that you were having a KK at. So I'm with them on this whole situation. Wait, let me close this window. So what was the other thing? So then some people jumped in the comments and said the following. They said, "Ooh, really out in DL trade that voted for Trump on IG stories. I'm crying." Another person said, like, he really don't give a stood on business and everything. With the following post, which I'm gonna pull up for y'all. I don't know why y'all gagging like, yes, I'm dead ass. These people shouldn't get to enjoy our company and our spaces and then actively vote against us, our freedoms, our rights to have the same spaces you were having a kiki at, which is the thing I just read. Now, others also said that they were taking Mariscal's advice, although they didn't come up with the same degree of receipts, saying, honestly, out everyone who's LGBT and plus and voted for that man, you have no right to hide behind and vote against your own community. Another person posted, let me just change my name on Grindr to MAGA 2024 and take down my PFP. I got a town full of DLs and a busy night ahead of me. And it was, then somebody also posted this picture of Tatiana, which is hilarious, and said, time to clean some closets. So I find that funny. Choices. Now, of course, outing, as you know, they say it's morally questionable. But I was like, no, it's not. Because my thing is, if you out here voting for somebody who basically wants to take our rights away, but you want to low-key enjoy getting your back blown out or your meat slobbed on, or whatever the case is, why should your feelings be spared? Especially when you get to hide in the closet. So, one person tweeted, people mad in the replies, but sorry, us out gays are exhausted by taking all the oppression for bigots just to turn around and be destroyed by the men who we're supposed to feel safe with. No more free rides. Sorry. Figure your shit out without us if it bothers you. And then the person responded to their post and said, exactly. It's disgusting to think that you can hide in your closet and play both sides like that. No more. You will not vote against me and my rights and think I will give you any hope of any type of protection. This further shows he knows what he does is wrong. I will never protect the DL man. Well, do you think that also comes from the fact of self-hatred within our community, that we always want to go after this idea of what a straight man is or straight acting and all that other stuff, and we tend to just go against the thing that we shouldn't be going against, and just we need to learn to love ourselves and include the ones that we sleep with are people are like-minded folks like us. But we like that whole idea of the whole straight acting, undercover, getting that thing that we don't have. So there's a lot of things that we got to work on, I guess, as a people in our community before, we get to a point where, let's just out them because they don't really be for us. But I'm like, you kind of self-hatred yourself because you're going after these fucked up men who ain't coming to terms with who they are. So in a way, it's kind of like you not coming to terms with who you are. Now, speaking of which, I want to pull up this video that I came across on TikTok. Now, this is a kid, he's not a kid, he's a guy, by the name of Tate Hoskins. Now, Tate Hoskins, I have followed for a long time over on TikTok. I also follow his Twitter because, he does OnlyFans. He's a cutie. He's like from the South. I think he's from Tennessee. And he's kind of got like that whole country cornbread, all-American white boy good looks, very good-looking boy. Good man. I don't know why. I guess because he's relatively young in his 20s, but he's also a super happy adult fun time worker. Shout out to Nico Aesthetics for that term. But yeah, he did a video where he talked about that. Speaking of outing the DLs, honey, he put up a video too. But his was a cackle because he really went in and let have. Let's go over there and let's play it. Hold the clip, please. Oh,
y'all thought I was done. No, see, there's one group of people that I have not read to fucking filth the way they deserve, and that's you DL cowards for Trump. Let me motherfucking tell you something. If you ever message me again, so help me God, I will make sure every member of your family knows just how much of a flaming homosexual you really are. Daddy Trump's back. I can smell low gas prices in the air. You know what else you're going to smell? The ink from your divorce papers. And before you say it, I don't give a fuck about the ethics or the morals of outing somebody, outing a gay man. Let me tell you why. In 2024, you are still in the closet with a wife and family out of fear. Fear of being gay, fear of being perceived negatively as a gay person, fear of the repercussions of what it means to be a gay person. You're gonna vote proudly, mind you, you're gonna vote for a party that fucking thrives on dehumanizing us, on squishing us down, on stripping us of our humanity over and over again, decade after decade. And you're gonna post and share those cute little memes about Daddy Trump, Daddy Trump. Let me be the first. You knew what voting for Donald Trump meant for the gay community, yet you did it anyways. You think you're gonna have your cake, your family, your cute little gas prices, everything wrapped up in a nice little Christian conservative bow? You're gonna eat it too? No, 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 not at my fucking table, not at my table. And for all the other gay men out there, drop these DL cowards. They are making our lives harder. One last thing, if I ever, God forbid, come across you and your family out and about in public, I'm telling you this right now, you and your wife are going to be having an incredibly uncomfortable conversation that night, because I refuse to let another fucking person in my community suffer at the hands of a DL coward like y'all. Damn, that felt good to get off my chest. Much love. Have a good day.
Well, he said what he said. And on that note, I was going to say, look, I don't feel no ways tired by people wanting to come out and expose these hoes for the shenanigans and the things that y'all be up in here doing. So, in my opinion, I feel like Tate couldn't have said it better myself. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Are y'all here for for outing people who do our community harm? It's like you're voting for someone who's going to take our rights away, but it's like at the end of the day, you get to have your cake and eat it. You get to go home to your wife. You get to go home and play daddy to your children. You get to live this, this white picket fence suburban lifestyle. But then you get to, on the low, whenever you get a tingle in your balls, then you want to run over and hit one of us up so that way we can turn your guts into, dig your back out and turn your guts into soup. Or if you a bottom, vice versa, you want to top them and all the other stuff. So I was say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, good, bad, and indifferent, let me know in the comments down below. Mm. Yeah, it's funny how you say he's going to go down as one of the worst presidents, but if you listen to them ladies on The View, oh, he was like a phenomenal president. I said, okay, y'all in a silo. Like, y'all not really in touch with the people either. So I have mental abilities to LMAO. I guess off the last story we did, I'm like, that's just a blanket statement. But I was like, I wouldn't out my last situation. I would out my last situationship, but it's almost a year and a half. Oh, okay, so he's safe. And he said, my comment got deleted. It did? What did you write? Because I wasn't deleting nothing. I was over here doing videos and reading people down to the floor. I am not deleting nothing. So what you say? And he said, but anyway, you want to screw over our lives. Okay. So you don't get to go scot-free with your mess. Yes, the library is open and it's going to forever stay open. And then high mental ability said, facts, 100, 100, 100. So I totally agree with all of that and stuff. And I will say this, we are at the end of the show. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button, also smash that notification button if you have not already, so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I'll be taking the weekend off, so I will be back on Monday with a brand new episode. It's lots of tea to spill. Sailor says, I have one guy who's DL who I work. Was it cute? Did you get some? I want to know the thing. But I was like, yeah, so child, you be surprised when you find out who all the the DL queens and stuff are. You know, they be you can always pick them out. And I'm sure I'm gonna find some. I'm gonna spot some tonight at that net game that I'm about to head off to and work. So love you all for watching. We'll definitely chit chat with y'all over the weekend and all that other stuff. And yeah, okay. I said thanks for the commentary. Love your take on things. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you. High mental abilities. And that name is everything, by the way. But yes, thank you for the commentary. You know, it's a lot of work that goes into this, and you guys definitely helped me get through a lot of talk about this. And I love that at least I'm, you know, hitting somebody out there. Somebody cares enough to watch this damn show. So love you all for watching. Like I said before, I will hit you guys and be back on Monday. Until next time, ciao, darlings.